QR code?
Yeah, for the QR code.
Making the WhatsApp group or any?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a WhatsApp group specifically for investors. I don't know if I should ask the investors I know first if they'd be willing first to be a part of this group.
Yeah, that's what you should do first.
Yeah. So I can make the group. I mean, your friend is an investor, right?
Yeah.
Would he be okay with me putting him in this group?
Yeah.
So I will add him as the first person in the group.
He's fine.
The group.
Don't add him because he's alone.
Don't add him?
Because he's alone. You have to have someone else in the group.
Okay, fine.
First.
So then, I know.
Other than yourself.
Yes. You guys, honestly, this sort of investor chat. No founder should be in it then, or no founder should be in this. Yeah.
No founder.
We can only connect once. We and then the founder.
No founder. You should talk to him.
So Asma just had her event today with investors. I met some investors last week.
So it was very good event. We directly met with the vice chairman. He spent whole time with us.
That's amazing.
He spent whole time from the team. It was only very invite only event. Only 12 people. Okay.
And I missed it.
Yeah. So he missed.
Oh wait.
You made it.
Hey.
Please come sit down.
In the morning we had a.
How are you?
At 8:30 a.m.
Good.
It's so late here.
Very good, actually. Today's been a wild day. I'm glad to spend some time with you now.
Very good.
I'd like 6:30. That's good. We can introduce ourselves now, though, all of us. You want to introduce yourself first?
Sure. Hi guys, my name is Arun. So, are you guys part of the Impact or are you guys founders?
We're just friends.
Some founders, some friends. Yeah.
Oh no, we speak coworkers.
Yes.
Okay, nice. So, I'm a founder as well. So, the company is called Block Conway. So, what we do is AI governance. So, if you are using any kind of AI product and you want to be ISO compliant, to make sure that your product you can go and reach a Fortune 500 or even any company that wants to even consider yourself seriously, you need to have some kind of accreditation or compliance work done. Like that's what we provide. We make sure that your models can be safe, secure, unbiased, that can be used by companies. We focus right now more on fintech applications. So if you're a fintech company that's using.
So we're gonna do. This is it. You're doing your pitch right now, which is good. This is just like this is like an intro to your introduction.
Sure.
We're recording everyone's pitch so that we can post the pitch before New York Tech Week, saying, "Here's what you're saying." But first, we're gonna also say like what are the improvements that you could do, like critical feedback about your pitch. I mean, you pitched, and I said there could be improvements, and they said no, there's no improvements. And I feel like we could be harder than that on ourselves. We're a network of people, right? Why can't we be? Is that not true?
So no, so you do one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of sitting here, why not keep it
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just want to do like a short introduction. So that's good that you went into it.
You have only 2 minutes to 3 minutes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do 2 minutes is good.
Yeah, sure. And we're publishing it.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Not anything. So we are actually preparing for the event that is Tech Week.
So what events do you are planning to go or what is the idea there?
Yes.
Are you going to go?
He's planning to go to every event.
No. He is the one that has applied for every single event on the New York Tech Week list right now.
Not every
2,000
single.
events.
Not every
He
single.
said he got into 5. He's
500.
Only 500.
I got into 100.
200.
I got
Crazy.
into 150 of them.
Wow.
So next week you are registered for 150?
Yeah, 150. I'm still applying. I'm still left on one.
All these events, what is the category? What do you just randomly go put an event or?
What should I do?
I used to be an investor, so like.
Okay.
So like, I say the magic words, director of innovation, and they're like, oh yeah.
No. I'm asking like, are you targeting a particular industry specific, or you're just attending any single event? That's
just like a, there's.
Is this
There's-
a good approach?
Yeah, that's the right approach for me. It's not the right approach for
I-
founders.
What is your intentions, Mache?
It
That's what I
doesn't
understand.
make- The point is that if you're able to curate to something, because I don't think you have all the time in the world. to go.
Because I get to carry what events I want.
He just wants the free food. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
But are you trying to sell your startup? Like, are you a founder right now? Or are you,
I'm an investor.
what?
Then that's fine. No, and
What happened? Are you?
Yeah. Who are you representing as an investor?
The founders VC.
Huh? Huh? Tell us about this. Wait, I don't know.
It's AI agentic.
You are an venture advisor for them?
I'm a scout for them.
Oh, so you are officially a scout. I did not know you became a scout.
Not officially. I just scout for a friend of mine. Who's a
Ah,
VC.
so you're a scout for a scout.
For a scout for a VC.
So you scout for a VC that does.
AI agentic.
AI.
B2B.
Everyone is AI agentic, but
Yeah, but like
no, what in AI agentic are they focusing on?
tech.
What?
Deep tech, yeah.
Deep tech in like healthcare, anything.
Anything.
Okay.
Mostly in like B2B, but like the
See, we do B2B.
B2B.
That's different.
Yeah,
Agentic workflow is different.
Exactly.
We do agentic workflow as well. But what exact industry is that needed? We do focus.
They go in any direction because they got 5 VPs on their board. So it's like straight from like
What are the check sizes?
to they don't lead.
Hey,
So like it's anything from
that time.
150 to like 300.
Yeah.
Sorry, 100 to 200.
What is it?
So that's pre-seed.
Yeah, basically.
So they are pre-seed.
Yeah.
Do they do? Okay, fine.
Well, I mean, you said what check sizes, so I mean,
Yeah, I want to get their range.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't lead, so I mean, like,
they don't do leads.
no, they don't do leads.
Okay.
That's,
So if I'm bringing in a lead, will they invest?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's
How much will they?
Help me
how
make
much
this
will
look
the lead
good.
be?
The lead should be anything that's. If you're
I'm raising a mill.
Yeah, if you're raising
It's
a
just
then
delayed,
you have
I
to
think.
I have a 50.
Oh, no, I see.
I have a 500k lead right now.
Okay.
Hey.
So like you have to have your lead investor has to be.
I know you
more
do.
than-
Oh, you made it. Okay.
What's going on?
That's all.
That's it. Glad to see you, bro.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, I know.
Yeah, I got moving here.
How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Oh my god, it's been a while.
See?
Oh my god.
We're getting the game back together.
So, hi, I'm Charlie.
I'm not there.
I'm gonna. Nice to
Charlie
meet you.
is the ultra networker.
Yes,
You know,
it is.
I don't like to call myself that, so I'm so glad you
He's a networker, period.
The networker.
Incredible.
Networker.
Is there an empty seat? Or should
Yes,
I
right here,
stand
right
or
here.
board
Right
over
here,
there?
right
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, you say that.
I'm just.
You set that
Oh,
up.
he's part of your team?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Jordan.
he's our CTO.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan,
I'm
nice to meet you.
one of the
I
founding.
didn't know
Yes.
you were coming. Alright.
Oh, well, I got an invite last second.
Woo! Everybody was invited last second.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, Masha, you found your way here, today.
You
Very
showed me
nice.
some here, and I was like, okay.
What a jacket. My god, you're looking so. See, I was thinking about coming in a suit, and it felt a little
I was in
self-conscious. I wasn't
another meeting that was
Okay. I was gonna
Banker,
say,
you
you
know,
put-
when you are going to meet with the banker, you need to dress like this so that you will feel.
Oh no, when I meet with my banker, I always wear a t-shirt and shorts to let him know who's working for who.
Yeah. So,
Oh goodness.
Okay, very good. So right now, we're setting up for two
Yeah,
things.
moved
Okay.
First is that we have a list of different events for New York Tech Week that we're planning on attending.
I came early.
Now,
Not everything is filled out.
I came early.
If you have events that you think we should attend, you can put it on the board and you can put it in the document that we have. Second
Yeah.
thing that we're doing is we're doing
Yeah.
pitches for everybody. I wanted
Mostly
to have the live stream right here. If you want to set that up to be on top of the table right here, move this chair back, have it be right here, kind of in the background.
so you all part of the same organization, or is it?
no.
Yes.
I'm a founder.
Yes.
I know that. Yeah.
So everybody here is on the Propel network.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's basically like all the companies that I found that are like impact focused in some way
Gotcha.
connecting together to.
I think I will.
You wanna use my phone?
Yeah, I don't have my family in this phone.
Sure.
So,
You can charge it.
So this is essentially a tech week think tank.
Yeah, pretty much, which is pretty cool actually.
I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have told me that. I would have brought more people. Okay.
Well, call the troops. We'll be here.
Oh. Let me see. Actually.
More
But,
people will be coming. Not sure how many. Probably at least one is on the way now. So, what do you want the order to be? Do you think that you could pitch?
What is it? Like, are you like say, are you stuck with the start company?
I'm a student.
Okay.
Yeah, and
But do you have a startup?
No, still not.
Yeah.
Thinking for it.
Okay.
Are you looking for people to pitch?
I guess we could just do everybody to introduce themselves as their pitch. That could be how are you going to introduce yourself in your tech week?
Yeah, I think that would be
Great.
awesome.
Okay. I'll pass. Well, everyone just pass. I'll pass this around. Everyone put their names in. Yeah. Yeah. This is very good. So this is the New York Tech Week Preparation Day. We have all of us here together. Very nice.
You sure? Australia is 8.
Should we use this as well? This thing?
Okay.
Yeah, I think then I need to use. Oh yeah.
That's me.
Here you go.
Yeah. Why not we use Apple to
Sure. Do you want to go live?
Oh, this is my broken phone. Shit. I use
But
this.
you could just record it rather than.
Yes. We're right now. That computer is. You guys are live streaming right now. So
Oh, I just saw my face on the screen.
yes.
Yeah,
Well, let's see. Sure.
So we got
So I have,
he has labeled you.
Oh wait, I need to change the screen so that can be centered.
this
You get a
is
picture from him.
Actually,
But why didn't you just present that?
Exactly.
this is gonna be regular. Right now, what we've been doing is that we've been live streaming us building in public every week on Friday. Yeah, finish on Friday. But this is a special version for foreigners. Yes. Yeah.
My name?
Did I spell your name right?
My name is and the
Wait, did I spell it right?
Vinay.
it's my name. My name is Antal.
No, I did.
Okay.
I spelled it right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, wait, let me see. I probably spelled your name right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, you can pass it over this way then.
So what do you do? Like,
Well, we'll see in a second. Okay. We can go around the horn for everybody. If you guys can right now, we can share the link on LinkedIn and say we are live now doing our New York Tech Week pitch preparation. You don't have to. You don't necessarily need to. But I'm gonna make a post right now for that.
One more thing, what we as a community want from everybody who is the part of the Propel Art is, if somebody from our community, so you need to understand how the algo works. So if instantly people are reacting to the post, the algo will post you and to recommendations. Okay, so building on public means supporting each other. So when somebody is sharing the post, jump into the post and react and do what we share with the people. So that the visibility is important.
Yes.
So when you guys have a visibility, have a chance to make more and more people. Because then the reach is going to be more. So that's what I'm stepping to need to be implemented.
Yeah, I think that's the whole idea behind this is that if you guys all are raising funds or something like that, you want to get your message out to the most amount of people, and it's the network effect. If you are part of the
these
cohort.
guys, the serial, they just create hype. Literally, they just create hype. Because everywhere in the public, and the guy from Colombia, they were like Clue. That's the name of
Cooley?
Yeah, Cooley.
I'm literally
Yeah.
obsessed, okay? I'm following, they literally want you to be as controversial as possible. And that's the one thing I feel like I've not done enough well. So I would love for this think tank to think about that a little bit more for how we present to yourselves. They literally, because that's what sells, that's what gets you attention. Is if you're like, hey, we're impact, we're so nice people. That is good, okay? But maybe if we're impact in a way of like, oh yeah, you should be working harder. I don't know. I don't want to be like that.
You
Yeah.
can fight against a monopoly, and you can create something that is so much like.
it depends on how much of a bandwidth you have as well, right? It's
Yeah.
like you can hit. It's more like throwing a stone and then seeing.
Yeah,
it
no,
lands.
they use the network of Ivy League, so because they were the student of Ivy League, so they target all the Ivy League schools, and everybody in the Ivy League school shared the post. I have a friend from the university, and every day I saw the post. Like everybody is sharing the post.
Yeah, that's what we should have.
Okay, so wait. Okay, if we want access to Ivy League, why don't we just get Ivy League?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's listen. Who here went to an Ivy?
None of us. Yeah.
You went to an Ivy. All right.
I never graduated.
Okay. I know at least fucking 200 people that went to Ivies.
Yeah, they will send a message. They will send a group message into the IB group, and the people will share, and they will publish.
Okay.
Because the money is all on the.
But that's okay. First of all, that's the thing that I completely disagree with
Why
people
don't
in
you
general.
just start saying?
Is
Barcelona?
if we're looking,
She's
is this for fundraising? Is this
That's
for
true.
No.
resources? What is this?
No, it's the visibility of the
Okay.
founders. Like founder also need to be visible to the people. How you are going to be visible on the front of the people? Then you have a more reach to the people. Okay.
No, but what are you going to sell to them, right? It's also about how
Yeah,
are we going to.
What's the point?
Every founder have a something to build. Like we as a startup, we are helping a lot of founders who is building in public. Okay. So for the social impact. So like let's suppose I'm building healthcare. Okay. What's your role?
What? I don't know. This is my first year.
Yeah. So we have 14 founders. They are building different stuff. So what we try to help the founder, let's suppose anybody is healthcare. Okay. We all as a community, okay, will help to promote that startup. Like when you are promoting your startup, we will help to promote you. The other person is promoting, so they get more visibility in the people and the trend.
What if it's
Question: what's your background?
My background, I'm software engineer.
Software engineer. Okay. Does anyone here do marketing?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about visibility because that's really important, and I think that's the purpose of this whole thing. No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Visibility, whether it's an individual, a brand, or any kind of business, you need to have targeted visibility. Right now, if you want to scream into the void, you absolutely can. You can go into any live and then just start talking about whatever you're doing. Building in public is separate from being live.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two very different things, right? So if you wanted to have a targeted outreach, say your healthcare thing, it can be all about building in healthcare. What are the problems? What are the things you're tackling? Who are the main enemies, the bad guys in the room, right? But it's all about healthcare. So we have those are two very different things, right?
So that's where come the startup. So we as a community is supporting multiple startups. They are working with different industry. Okay. So when it comes to the startup, they already visible. Like we are building in this startup in the healthcare. So it's the startup agenda. It's not our agenda. We as a community will support that agenda at any way. Like
So then what's this event's agenda?
no, the Propel.
Yes. So Propel Earth is the larger community that I've been trying to build right now.
Okay.
The agenda for this event was, and I guess it started a little bit before you guys got here, was to identify the specific events for New York Tech Week that we should be going to, and then have everybody mock pitch themselves, then onboard everybody who pitches to get onto the website of Propel Earth, so that when we go out and talk to people, we can direct them to go see your startup on the website. And that was the point of this, is just to prepare our
But how would
founders.
what would you pitch to them? Would you pitch to them that are you part, like, hey, say for example, if you're going on behalf of Block Conway
Mm-hmm.
and you see that there is a company in fintech, because we target specifically in fintech industry, and we wanted to get that company which has AI that they are using for finance, then would you tell them, hey, check out the site, or how is that going to work out?
Exactly. So you would have a profile built on the site that describes exactly who you're looking for, as well as who you are. And we are doing this right now so that when we go out in the world, we're basically saying we're looking for new startups to join the network, and we're looking for what the people who are on the website want and need, so that we can direct them to our website where they can view the entire profile of our startups.
So we are building a one centralized community
Yes.
where we are onboarding all the startups and investors, and then we will connect them. It's on public, like it's not like a private venture or anything. They have a strength attached. It's non-profit. It's not for profit. Yeah. So we are not taking anything from the startup right
Yeah.
now, and we're just connecting the people.
Okay. If you want, do you have anything else to say?
Well, I'll just be like, just want to know what we could do, and the best thing is that just thinking, because see, we want to be very focused, right? Every
Yes.
like what Charles is saying is that if we can't have a very diversified way that we are moving forward. Because when he said he was booking into 150 events, I was like, then it's you're not targeting onto something
I
that
agree.
you want, right?
Yes.
You just can't go to every single event and expect people to have an application that would fit Lock and Way. Or if that is the case where I was like, is that event going to, which of these events would be
For you.
for me? I'm just
exactly.
thinking about which one would say AI for impact.
Yes.
What kind of impact? Is it who's hosting that? Is it like, so for us it's more like, hey, we do AI governance, so we make sure that your models are unbiased. Your models have a better way to get ISO compliant, and especially the models that are going to be used in fintech applications, especially.
So now here's the thing. But if you are going to individually reach out to the university, you will be very limited. Okay. Limited means you can join maybe few events. Okay. You cannot reach out to a lot of people. But if we set up an way, what we try to present this community that is a non-profit, okay, to help all the founders and everybody.
But how do you my question is like, if I and Charles go to events every week, like the number of events I and Charles go to are like
Pretty much every day.
every day
Yeah.
we go to events. So finding it's like currently in the market it becomes so hard with people with intention. We have to go reach out to them through LinkedIn or anyone who even no one will go come out and say they are interested in this market. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and here's the thing, is that
If we don't create value, no one is going to come to us.
and the value that's created from the events that I attend. For example, every single event that I'm going to at Technic, they're all invites directly to me from the person putting them on.
Yeah.
I refuse to go onto A16Z's website, scroll endlessly, try to find something that makes sense for me, because I care more about the person and the type of people that are going to be there than the substance. Because the substance is something I can pick up in a book or an online article or any kind of area, but I need access to the people who have the things that I need.
So here's the thing, what we are trying to achieve is, because our founder, the people who is the part of our community, is available anytime to everybody. Okay, this is you now join the Propel Labs. Okay, we have a WhatsApp group where we can introduce you to the people who is already in the crowd. We will ask to come to network. So what we want is, instead of individual founders, because we have 14 founders. So if 14 founders go and meet and onboard 14 investors into the group, so instead of
But
individual,
what is my incentive to your
because then we have a community where we are all together, like this community
What's
where
your feel?
everybody will share their resources. So if you are in the same community, you have more chances to interact with more people and more personalized, because we have weekly meetings, we share the resources in WhatsApp group and also files resources, so that let's suppose we have an investor from healthcare who is a part of our network. So all the founder who is in healthcare, we will introduce to that investor. Same like the founder to founder and all the expert and get all the things. So through this, we actually make a community. They will help people, and that's what we are trying to build on public. So build on public means everything is transparent for everybody. Okay, so we have a weekly live session where we show what we have done so far and what the startup are trying to build. Okay, every startup founder come to the page and they will share their progress and their stake. So the people who is in the community also get to know more and more into the journey what they have achieved. And at any point, like maybe one day founder investor is not interested with you, but after 2 months you have a progress and everything. The same investor is in the part of community. Might be interested to invest on you because they are seeing the progress you are making.
Gotcha. Okay. We also have kind of a fundamental difference in philosophies, at least in this room, from what I understand. One of which is surrounding funding. I refuse to take funding, first and foremost, for my business. And I also encourage anyone in tech to refuse funding as well. If you need funding, it's usually just to scale. If you need funding for a business to start, you're going to have a family business. And so, if that is kind of a measure of which we're looking at contributing value, I think I'm in the wrong one.
Wait. What do you mean?
So, like, if we're sharing investors, if we're sharing, events is fine.
No,
things
we
like that.
are not only sharing investors.
Okay.
We are sharing resources. We are helping founder to how to validate
So,
their idea.
so what are the nature of those resources?
Like let's
Focus
go,
for impact.
so let's suppose somebody is if you don't know anything about the business and you try to start a business, what you need?
Okay.
You need a lot of things. You need how to design a pitch. You need a person who will help you to maybe build a
What I'll do is
website. You need a person who will help you to design some UI UX design, maybe some prototype, validate your idea, a lot of things. A person who never started a business or startup, okay, they're trying to start. They need a lot more resources than a startup business. That's what we will help.
So are
we'll
you
share-
providing referral?
Yeah. So what we're building, the startup who is already in the market, they already have a process they done, like they go through. We will collect these are resources and put into our website so that are available for everybody. So they will take the resources and they just
So
validate with that.
So it's an open source database for
Investors.
referrals. Well, okay, well, 'cause that's the thing.
Yeah.
The investors I know are not going to be interested in a startup that is less than, I'd say, Series A.
Yeah. Or like pre-seed, but they have 2 million.
No, they're not even looking at
Mm.
right now.
That's the thing.
The
See,
era
that
of
angel
seed money
list.
is open.
Yeah, I know. It is.
Yeah.
So unless you have,
Cash.
unless you have a really significant amount of revenue,
Yeah.
no investor I
I
know
mean,
is looking.
how difficult?
But this is not profit.
It's too
We
much.
are not
Yeah.
a profit.
The way we're gonna
No,
do
I know, but
feature
like
is
for
that you
your
want to fill that
community,
additional information.
if they're looking
Then
for
you can
investors,
That's
actually
what we
filter
are
this out.
helping so that we can help
But
the
this will take
startup
you
to
probably
build and publish
10 minutes to
without
describe
raising the
information.
money.
And this is what
Let's-
everyone is
Oh, okay.
seeing.
Yeah.
When they
that's-
Okay,
see it.
now
If
you're
you
talking
wanna
about language.
look at it,
Okay,
You can
Let's-
see what some of the other
so
feature
then
founders
let's
just don't click on it, just click like
kind of
make a new
correlate
tab.
this because if
This
we're
one? Yeah, make a new tab though. You know how to do that?
Stefan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stefan,
Hey.
so if we're talking about building in public without an investor, let's say bare bones kind of area, bootstrap, yes. In the context of tech week, is that's what this meeting was for today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we want to utilize so that we can onboard more resources that are interested to onboard the people who is interested to create a social impact and build on public. So that our
So
community
that's the
becomes-
thing, right? Building on public is a very like I don't understand what is
Challenging.
building on public.
Very challenging. because
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
know
a-
what building on public means.
You're basically all on the open web.
Yeah.
Anybody can search you, anybody can
Searching
find
is
your idea and then copy it. Basically.
No,
Self.
You don't understand the public. Public means this was I'm trying to build my startup. Okay, I want to share some info like in the journey of the founder, how I'm building my startup. Okay, and what resources I need. This was I need some like graphic designer, but I don't have money. So we as a community will have a lot of volunteer from all the schools. Okay, they need jobs or all these things. We will help the startup founder to connect with the volunteer who build their stuff. Okay, and they will go through the social media and share the progress and what they are doing right now. Okay, and if there's something
So have you heard about this thing called this one? called Pilot. There was this thing that I'm not sure whether. So they had this program where they would rank companies. They would rank all these startups would go there. That was 3 years back, and you can go check them out. What happened was this was the same kind of idea where you can even go and check. It's called Pilot. I forgot the name, the full name. I can even send you guys. What it would do is you would have to update every week about your startup. And there'll be 300 other members who are startup founders. So to get the top 100 rank or the top rank in that particular region, we would have to post every week about our startup, tell what is happening in our startup. Is that?
I'm trying to find it.
No, I'll send you. That was now it is not alive yet. So 3 years back, what they used to do is they would run an accelerator program at the end of the time. So whoever was selected in the top 5 was taken as into their accelerator program where they would invest $10,000 or $20,000 in that company for 1% equity or something like that. That was like they focus on very early stage startups, and these startups were more like that's what. But it didn't work out for me because it's like you need to update it every week. But sometimes you don't have much progress apart from what you showed last week to this week because you're just grinding out to figure out things there.
But I think the premise is like it's not meant to be competitive. It's supposed to be collaborative. But I kind of agree with the idea that making the marketing of it a focus should be not the main part. The main part is having a good business. I think anyone can argue that, even if you have great presence, a lot of connections, if your business is crap and you can't pay rent, you're not going to be around.
I am a person.
Yeah.
Let's suppose you are a very early startup founder. You are trying to build your first startup. Okay.
Yeah.
How much resources do you have? Very limited. Okay. How you build
It depends on person to person.
No, so we are targeting for the social impact.
Yeah, again, it depends on the.
Yeah.
So
What do you mean? The only thing he's confused is about the social impact part.
Well, no. I know what social impact is helping people, the environment, or other things like that, right? I can get along with that. That's perfectly fine. In fact, that's what my business is built on. My question here is, for the purpose of this meeting, this is tech.
Yeah.
And so we are trying to get people who are helping other people with their business or the environment or a social cause.
And to this community.
In that community, in that community, access to resources to help build their business within the confines of tech.
Yes.
Okay. With that in mind, the problem with Tech Week events is that they're not, they're subject specific in the sense that they are
relatively to the founder, but they're not relatively to the founder because not a lot of people join.
Yes, AI doesn't mean shit anymore.
Yeah, and most of the investors actually skip Tech Week because they got somewhere else to be. Because there's another event that's in Europe. There's a second New York Tech Week.
Well, there's that, and one way or the other, I think this might be more productive if we talk about maybe just one or two kind of
goals.
Well, not even goals. One or two events, why they would be good, and expand from there.
Yes.
Because, for example,
These are
There's more events there too.
We've done this part before. So
You want somewhere where there's a community, where they have a group chat, where you can actually scout and talk to people via WhatsApp or whatever.
Well, I would talk about the different types of needs, right?
Yeah.
The quality here is this, right? Yeah. If you have a really successful business and you're looking to scale, you need investors. You will not find an investor at the state. You will not find an investor at Impact Pitch. You will not find an investor probably at Impact Fund, maybe, because they a lot of really hackathons. But
exclusive
Impact Fundraiser, absolutely not. But where you will find an investor is at the AI extravaganza from Andrew Young.
Or the carnival things like those.
The carnival thing, or the cruise, or the yacht thing.
Yeah,
by
that's
Tavern.
finally a tavern.
On Sunday. Those are where you're going to find investors. Do you need engineers? Because you're not going to find them there. You're going to find them.
Engineers, I think you can find in LinkedIn,
Yeah. And then here's the biggest part that kills all of the startups, anyways. How are you asking? How are you getting access to these people? How are you proving that you're worth working with? Nobody has access to that level, right? Some people, I'm not going to say how much, because I don't know, but people pay extraordinary amounts of money to me to teach them how to get access to these people.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
And so, if I was giving away something for free for tech, which I would love to do, it would be how to access these people. Because you're going to meet them. You're going to meet, let's just imagine. What's your business? Is this your business?
I'm the one of the founder.
He has his own company.
You have your, okay.
I have my own company.
You have your own company. Excellent. Okay. So, if you were just starting, let's take you back however long, right? And you met someone like me. How would you, at Tech Week, where I'm talking to thousands of people, literally thousands of people, how do you convince me to say, yes, I want to help you and I want to do it?
So I would rather see my startup, I would make my presentation like according to if they are meeting our what I'm building and what they are doing. If they are okay, then we will have a similarity and we will connect and we will check sometimes.
I agree. So then let's put that in the context of this community. How many of these events is going to be easy enough to get personal access to the kinds of people that they need? And by personal access, I mean, we're talking about these big events, Andrew Young and Tavern, and that. It's going to be loud. There's going to be a ton of people. You're going to, unless
There's a lot of private events that are happening.
Yeah, unless.
That is not even in the list. It's only an
Some
invite
of
only
them,
thing.
some are now.
Yes.
You only get it like if the person is somewhat it's like they are having a Series A investors just for them and you need to have access.
If someone is flying in from the middle of bumfuck Iowa and they have a really good business, maybe it's not making revenue yet, but I know it's a good business. I'm not going to send them to Andrew Young's event or to the boat for Tavern. I'm going to send them probably to a forum, probably to a hackathon.
Or it's a happy hour with like top company like Google.
Happy the AWS opener on Monday.
Or the
not the technical opener, but the AWS one is good.
I mean, they're all RGP is like that. So
Yeah, and anything sponsored by Llama right now would be a good one too. Because
Llama has this.
Google.
You know, the Llama has opened their own startup.
yes, yeah. Are they doing something for technical? I didn't see it.
No,
I
I saw something for Flexity like twice only.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But okay, so if we are targeting that kind of person, starting from zero, needs help, doesn't have the connections yet, imagine they're new to New York, have no idea what's going on. We need to put them in the most advantageous location possible, which is not just in a place of having access to high level resources, because you're going to meet them, they're never going to remember you. They're never going to care. Yeah. You need to meet with peers and people who are just barely above. Now, there is a great location called Fabric. It's like Fabric, the material, but with a K instead of a C at the end. Yeah. And they have lots of great smaller events. They cap at a big 100. But that's a place you can get really intimate with a lot of people It won't be super loud. It won't be hard to get to know. Those are locations that you need to get access to. People who are already established, we go to the big boy games. But smaller events are going to be the key to build that community.
Yeah, that's what we are also trying to, like, but we are trying to onboard more and more people into our community. Once the people are in our community, definitely then we will personally reach out to everybody and learn more about, because if one event you are not able to learn more about the person, what they are doing, what their relation. So we are sitting here, we are discussing these things. It's more effective because we are from the same community.
Yeah.
And every time we have an event, we usually join the event and share the ideas and discuss the things. So that's what we are trying to onboard more people into our community.
Okay. So is this full ice cream active now? Or we're all set up?
But by the way, we're gonna have to move to the other conference room.
Actually, I have to leave.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Not yet. Okay. We can live stream us walk here because there are seats.
You have a vending machine around here?
No, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not real too.
No, I'm not hungry. It's hot.
There's water.
Yeah, I live at this point. And okay?
Yeah.
You need help moving stuff?
Yes. Just take that.
Give me whatever you need. I assume we're taking this too.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
thank
okay.
you. I forgot that. You can put that in my backpack actually.
Okay.
Are we taking this? Are we taking this?
Yes. Yes.
Patagonia?
Oh, is it? Is this? I don't know. I don't think I have a single Patagonia thing. But I
Hey,
would.
it's really nice.
Yeah, I know, right? I've not like pulled this out of my closet since like I guess colder weather. But I was in Brazil for however long, so
Yeah, I forgot about how was that?
it's pretty fun. Put the markers back, chairs back. Put the cup. I'll show you where to put it.
Alright.
Yeah.
I
This.
assume I'm gonna dump it somewhere?
You can basically. Yes.
Okay.
Or you can just keep it in the sink and I'll take care of it later on.
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh, can you serve this here? Yeah. Thanks. That's relatively.
Where are we going?
We're going. Oh, lead the way. Okay. Just serve this if you can. We're done. Oh yeah. Hi. Yeah. Should I put this garbage in here, or is that fine or no? Take it with me. Okay. Follow me. This way.
This way.
Yeah. Impact Hub. Yeah, that was an interesting conversation. I think it's good that we're doing this, but we didn't actually accomplish the goal of what we set out to do, which was to onboard them onto the website and hear their pitches. But that's
How they know we are here?
you can wait here, go to the right and get them. It's right there. That's it. Oh, did we just pass by a guy with the garbage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So funny. So this is it. We'll set up right here.
Okay. So we have a light here.
Yeah, we're still live. Let me set up that camera.
No, is there any?
Oh, light is behind you right there. Yeah, let me go find them. I don't know how to set this up, to be honest. You can go ahead and try to. We can have this for the next couple hours at least.
It probably takes time to like.
warm up or something. Looks like it's the old type of life.
Are you based in New York?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, wait, wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be here for like a month.
Really?
I'm trying to.
From Pakistan.
Nice to meet you, man. We're brothers, man. There we go. Yeah, man. I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Take a picture.
Oh, taking a picture.
When was the last time you guys spoke? How long ago was that text message?
3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't really talked to him. Just living like.
Wait, who are you talking about?
The guy that I was gonna have him introduce you to, actually,
Yeah.
the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but kind of falling out.
I mean, like, he still talks, like, about me and, like, for people around there and stuff.
Oh, Raul? Fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Wait, why fuck Raul?
See?
Alright.
See? Yeah, he's talking shit about you as well.
Okay,
No, I know.
You want to set this
What
up?
happened to that where he's like?
What do you think, though? You
So-
want to set this up?
His app is bugging out.
Yes.
And when I found one, I told him, like, hey, listen, I can't sign up, whatever.
Oh, there you go.
He spent an entire
Right,
day
like-
telling me how it's impossible, how it's
Like-
bullshit, and how, like, I'm not responding fast enough, I'm not
The
doing...
lingo, I
shit.
forgot. Okay.
Yeah. On top of that,
I
like, I don't know what it is. He doesn't
Oh my god,
respect
see, this is
anybody
yesterday.
who works
You see?
with him
Well,
or for him.
execution. That
I
sounds
didn't
hard.
work with him
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
He was doing
Perfect.
really
Let's just
cool
make
guy.
it really.
Yeah, he was at the start.
At the start, yeah.
Now we
And
just
now
like
he's a
try to buy the
gigantic piece of
TV
shit.
so that like
Every
so
single
all the way
person
up.
that he has had a partnership with since last year
Yeah,
dropped him for a reason.
I didn't drop him like purposely. I just like kind of decided to start a club for a while. So I'm in med school now, so it's like.
But
Yeah, like, I
first
just,
of all,
like,
better move. But
Yeah.
second of all,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
sit
it's
down,
actually
sit
more
down,
of
sit down.
But I'm in the bathroom. I'll be back.
Go for it.
guys.
Okay. I like the way that we've been facilitating a conversation, but I think it'll be better to like actually get to like a real agenda of what we want to accomplish right now.
Yeah. let's do it.
You guys want this?
I
this?
want one.
This yours? That's what I got to.
I didn't know you two had fallen out. We got to talk.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get rid of my bag.
I was 3 weeks ago. I was posting shit on his group chat, and he was like, what the fuck?
Okay, very nice. So, we're all here now. What do we think in terms of what we want to accomplish with the fact that all of us are here? before Tech Week, and we have the chance now to do what we had actually said before you came, which was pretty much just going out there and getting people to join this network and have them be able to see the impact that we're helping to foster. I'm looking to you for this just because I feel like that was the best experience.
Okay, I mean, Tech Week.
It was a mixed bag.
Well, it's a mixed bag, but when you're a starting founder, it's a numbers game. Unless you have the access to resources inside of like the New York ecosystem, you're going to be going to a lot of places, meeting a lot of people that might not be able to help you.
And then
So-
you'll be confused.
Well, you'll be confused, but like more than that is you'll be wasting a lot of time. That's just the nature of these events. But what you can do is instead of aiming at a lot of different people all at once, you find the smaller venues. You find the more concentrated amounts of people, and you get to know them better. The best kind of resources that I have in New York came from a friend of a friend. And that's because the person that I originally met really likes me and went to bat for me. So if you have an opportunity to like build 4, 5, 6 of those relations over the length of Tech Week, you're going to do really well.
I would say even so, I mean, I would say people, like 4 or 5 people, they go out like after like the last event, have like a small drink or whatnot, like after the day of events, be perfect. I would say that's what I would say as well. Let's
So-
try to get that interaction going.
Maybe Peter.
So yeah, so I'm also like I'm very health focused startup. Like we are and healthcare, and we are also raising like 500K. So, but I'm also
Yeah, we should be louder.
Yeah.
Talk louder.
Louder?
Yeah, talk louder.
Okay. So what I can do, like, can I go for only health tech startup or just to build a community? Like that was another thing because I'm one of the founder with the Propel and also the founding member of Propel. So how I can represent, like, to present my startup or present Propel?
You don't have to worry about representing Propel because by you
Showing up.
by you showing up, but also more importantly by you working on your startup, by finding success through Propel, eventually raising money through Propel, that's going to do more for the image of Propel than like you trying to shout things from the rooftop. Like, we're gonna speak for ourselves. We're gonna speak for ourselves.
We're gonna be the advocates for you.
Yeah,
You're also
that was I also discussed with Stefan because if I can raise money by any way, okay, that will actually reflect the success of Propel because this is through the Propel.
Look, I mean, if the base process for this is success, you have to find the different forms of it, right? If your community is just based on raising funds, I mean, that's one form of success, right? I would be more impressed if the community came together, bootstrapped a ton of resources for a company, and then it took off like crazy. That for me is like something that hasn't been done yet.
And that's what Propel is about.
Yeah,
I
agree.
We are trying
We need to focus our efforts, is what you're saying. I
Yes.
agree.
Yeah. And focus outside of traditional means. Look, the age, I keep saying this, but it's true. The age of stupid money is dumb. If you're looking for a pre-seed valley startup that's going to give you a billion X multiplier,
Yeah, I get it.
it's not going to happen.
I mean, unless it's a emerging fund manager, then yes, he might take a risk like that.
But
once
he's
in a
already
while-
bootstrapping it. The guy
Yeah.
makes more in like an hour than all of us combined in a life.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of people that don't need investment. They get investment for fun.
Yeah.
Separate type of thing.
We need to build alpha right here so that people know that
And look, if you wanted to build a community that gives people security, that they're going to get what they need out of it, it's going to be entirely based on like the education that you can provide them along, right? If I were to come to you, hat in hand, let's imagine I'm a dude, I don't know, an ex-analyst from Barclays. I worked 2 years and I realized the corporate life isn't for me. I want to build a startup. What's the first thing you would tell me to do?
So we have a whole set of structure. So first we have people in our community. They are volunteer. They will help you to understand what you are trying to do, and then we will set the resources accordingly what you need. So then we will help to go to the market, and we have a resources hub where we will share the resources with everybody, so that you can instead of struggling to get the resources, you have one platform where you can get all the resources for your startup. So
And so then how does that relate to the context of tech?
That's what we are thinking, like how we can go. Like Tech Week is what we are thinking is onboard more people into our community. That's what we are thinking.
Okay.
When we have more people, definitely we will convey our message more highly. Like in the Tech Week, you have a very short time. Like people are busy. Maybe you get only 1 minute, or like 1-2 minutes for one person, because you are not going to spend the whole time with one person. Definitely. So and this, what we are trying to do is we just quickly say we have this community. Just join the group. We have a WhatsApp keyword code. Just scan and join the group. And once they are in the group, then we will slowly share our agenda, our purpose, everything. So that's what we are.
Okay. So what's Propel's differentiator? Why do I care about joining Propel over any other kind of startup group?
We are social and fixed and non-profit organization.
Social impact nonprofit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are not profit. We totally non-profit.
Okay. All right.
And everybody who is working with us, they are volunteer. They are not getting paid. All the people.
Okay.
So we basically share. Everybody share the resources.
So is the community a community of experts or a community of people looking for experts?
It's a mix.
Mix.
Okay.
So we have an expert people who is helping the people who are looking for the expert.
Okay. Because that's going to be my big question. If I'm looking for experts, for example, for startups, there is a community called Startup Experts. They're doing something very similar to what you guys are doing. They're not for profit. They are all volunteers, but they're only experts. They're not any startup founders inside of it. And so, if you're looking for the mix, you have to make it completely apparent.
So here's the thing: we onboard all the founders. Anybody who have an idea, dream to come and build any startup, they will join our community. But on top of that, we have a standard approach where we are selecting the startup for every page. We are going to have a 3 to 6 month page where we will select the startup, and for that startup, we are going to put all our resources into a specific startup, so that startup become more successful instead of having a lot of startup and we cannot help a lot of startup. So we are going to follow the same process that the profit companies are following, but it is for non-profit. So where we can share our resources from those people who is on the top of this. So as we discussed in the very earlier on our first page, we are going to pick only 5 startup and put all the resources into the 5 startup. So and that
That's okay. So you're making a concentrated effort
Yeah.
in 5 individual businesses.
Yeah.
And bringing all of your community to help those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have the whole larger community that's also
Big
doing
community.
like helping with each of the individual startups, but we're choosing the incubator teams. That's sort of what this is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the problem is if we have a 14, 15, 16 startup, okay, at this point we are not able to support all the startup, and if we are not able to support and provide a quality work, then there is no meaning to So then we set this whole set of a structure where we will onboard the startup who is so dedicated. Some people will learn from this. So let's suppose you are building your startup, but you are not prepared to build a startup. You can contribute with this startup to learn how to build a startup. So through this, you are actually validating at the same time your ideas and all the things, and you are getting the actual real-time experience how the other startup is building. And we will share all the resources, all the volunteer with that startup to help to promote. And then we have resources hub where people will have access to the resources, and top of that, we will try to raise the money with the startup so that they can get and become successful if they want. If they are not trying to raise the money, we will have to get at least sale, like to introduce the people to other people to get sale. It's totally community based.
Okay, so is it a community with a incubator component, or an incubator with a
it's a community.
community component?
Yeah.
Community is an incubator component. The
Yeah.
incubator is not the main focus. It's not even made at this point. It's
Yeah.
just we are sort of deciding who are the most impactful companies out of all the
Yeah.
ones that we've sourced right now. And that's why I'm saying we have to go around here to not just saying, hey, we're looking for volunteers. We're talking about the funnels of we have new founders coming in, new investors coming in, new supporters coming in. And this is something that I started back in January alone, and I've grown into this community of people who really care about helping one another. And everybody's relating to it. What is it that we need to do at New York Tech Week right now to prepare us for how we can have a successful week that we actually get some
More-
sort of
more and more.
outcomes out of it?
Yeah.
That's
And-
I'd like to frame the conversation.
And after this week, we will select 5 startup where we will we already have a 14 startup with us. 14 startup founder with us. We have a team of a volunteer who is helping already startup with the resources. So
Well, then, if the point is to start building access to that community of incredible startups, I think starting with the startups is ass backwards, right? You have to be looking at the infrastructure that would attract them. Is that going to be investors? Is that going to be professionals? Is that going to be marketers, agencies, mentors?
So we're right now building out our service provider marketplace.
Okay.
So we've been listing out the featured founders that we have who built out profiles, and the entire purpose of this event today was to say, here are the events, go create your profile on Propel Earth, and then if you're a service provider, we're creating the capacity now for you to list what you do to help impact focused startups. And you can sell that to impact startups, or you could be someone that, if it's an incubator team, we will work with you in a different way, so it's free for the startups.
Okay, so walk me through the process of how this would work. Okay? If I'm a startup and I'm interested in your community,
Yeah.
I go to your website and I build a profile.
yes.
Okay, and from there, what do I do?
You have the opportunity, once this is finished, right now the only thing that's on the website is you have an explore page that you can post, hi, I'm blank, I'm doing this, or you can post anything you want. It's just like an Instagram feed.
Okay, just like a chat. Like
Yes,
chat.
and then what I'd like to build is next, I'm not the developer, I need development help. So that's why I've been trying to surround myself with people.
So your goal would be
Next would be to build a forum
so your goal
so that
would
you can
be
have chats for the
this
specific talks.
Tech week is to find engineers.
I actually just recently found a team that's helping us now, but I would like more volunteers to build this out together. We need to be helped first as Propel the startup to help the other startups. That's what it's been like so far.
So is the purpose of this meeting to help Propel?
The purpose of this meeting was to prepare the impact-focused founders. There's not a single founder other than you in this conversation right now, which is why the purpose has shifted from being, okay, let's see which events are best to represent at New York Tech Week. I didn't invite as many founders here as I could have from New York Tech Week, but I've been talking individually with them, trying to get them onto the website, etc. So the purpose right now could be how do
Curate
we,
events.
yeah, so you're securing events, choosing the events out of that huge whiteboard that we just took a picture of that I need them to send me the picture of. And then deciding out of all of that, what is it that we want to do with the actual, hey, we're Propel, here's our marketing campaign for New York Tech Week, here's the specific QR codes that we're directing people to join our WhatsApp groups or directing them to come to the website and build a profile. And the website needs to be finalized, and we're doing it this weekend, the developers.
Gotcha. Okay. So if that's the case, you need a mix of effective and flashy.
Okay.
is what you. So the problem is, I mean, you can have subject-specific events, but like I said before, subject-specific events just bleed into a network. That's all it is. It's like a snippet of important information, maybe. Usually it's very general. And then it becomes a bunch of people in a room that might have some loose connection to each other. So you need to find the qualifiers inside of a networking event that make it useful and or attractive to your base, right? So if I was just a founder from, again, bumfuck Iowa, coming into New York for the first time, and I needed to know where there are the most amount of people, those are probably going to be the Andrew Yang event and the yacht event from, and the carnival.
Yeah.
The Andrew Yang carnival and the
I
I don't know if I
Yeah.
even signed up
I'll
for this
just
yet.
kind of go there.
Yeah.
But
Can you write the name so that you send it?
Yeah, you want to write it down? Take the notes of what these events are?
Look, you can sign up for all of them on Luma.
Yeah, what I
For
would
most
really
of
like
them-
from Propel is to have this be like an information sharing website, this social impact hub of where you can go if you want to learn about specific impact issue areas in different regions, get the tailored support from founders who are sharing their own journey publicly. Like that other website that you were talking about, except imagine if it was sort of like a Wikipedia style knowledge base that each of them were adding to, giving information about how to build a company in a specific region, etc.
interesting. So are you going to have it available regionally, generally, or how does that?
Generally, but you can decide
Okay.
if you want to add to, let's say, this is us as the New York group. Like, I'm sure each of you guys can list out a million different things that would be really helpful for a startup founder. But that's the one question that I'm talking about before is the funnel. Like, development is the hardest thing for me because I'm trying to get all of this into a way that I can create a website that people will visit. They'll be gamified to want to visit it daily in some way, and then they'll be able to add information that is helping others, but also they're going to be able to view information that helps them. And if we can tailor it in some sort of like light MVP before this Monday, I have the development team working, and that's the point, is to just make it so that we can go to New York Tech, we can tell the world, hey, we exist, we're Propel Earth, we do this, this, and this.
You don't have
Join
to
their
have-
community as a founder, investor, or supporter.
You don't have to have a completely working website. You just have a waiting list.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we want to have start for people to start adding information to the information
I think
collected
we,
hub.
already have a at least founder will come and register, and then once the founder is already in the platform, then we will get that information and update the site. And
Well, my question is, why are you creating a proprietary website for, like a proprietary system for this?
This is the Facebook for social impact. That's what it
I
must
mean-
be.
Why don't you do WhatsApp?
We do have WhatsApp.
Why
Exactly.
don't you do that? Why don't you have a waiting list and then get everybody on board on WhatsApp? I mean,
yeah, that's what I
it's-
talked
we're-
about before.
We're
So
doing.
And then have
we
different
just
groups.
onboard the
Yeah.
people and do the WhatsApp group.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make one distinction here, right? I think WhatsApp is a horrible system for building a community, just because it's not siloed and not direct, right? A WhatsApp group, you can have like 20 WhatsApp groups, and I have proof of this. This is the reason why I turned off notifications for WhatsApp.
Yeah, me too.
I don't do it because it's too much general information all the time. Ping, 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 ping. I ignore it. If you want access to something that gives people a reason to show up, they need to be able to tailor the notifications to what.
Yeah, here is the thing. We have our website where every information is on website, okay, and all the people have access to the website. But for real quick, for this week, we can just onboard the people into the WhatsApp so that once we have a people, then we will get all the information and add it to the website.
Yeah, but then
On the website.
Yeah,
it
and
should
the
be
to the
siloed.
point, even the website. Okay.
It's a website is a structure that what you're talking
And
about.
I see what you guys are trying to do, but the problem is that there are already so many communication systems that are being used right now.
No, it's
for
not a
business
communication
purposes.
system. It's a resource hub where actually the communication system is a lot, okay? But you are still not getting the resources. But you need you are not getting. So we are going to provide all these resources. Like if you need a volunteer who will work with you on your startup, maybe in marketing, maybe in development, whatever. So we have a community of a developer. Okay, they are willing to help other startup for free and voluntarily on the time.
Here's what it boils down to: can you send and receive messages on your?
No.
That is
Right
what
now.
we need to implement.
Right now, it's not.
You do have like a button that says connect, but it's not live.
Yeah, it's
where you
not
can
live.
do that. Yeah.
Is that going to be the plan?
Yeah. And then the forum.
So it is a messaging system.
Yeah.
It is a communications system. That's it. That's the point. If you're talking about hierarchy of purpose inside of any kind of system, communication will be number one. So that is what you become.
I see.
So we necessarily.
I keep on saying
not,
social media,
yeah.
which is why I wanted to be a social media company. It's just
Okay.
the purpose of this.
So if that's the thing,
yes.
then the purpose is going to shift for what you're looking for, right? Okay. You don't have a working system yet. I'm going to propose something. If it sounds crazy, fine, whatever, throw it out. Why not just use an already existing system and just keep it on there?
Yeah, like in x.com, build in public community, instead of the build in public community they have, replacing that.
Well, I'm thinking of something like Slack.
I don't use Slack.
Okay.
Explain. What?
Slack is a system set up by Salesforce. Essentially, it acts as a hub for multiple forms of communication, generalized information. So if you want to just have a database of stuff, it's there. Scheduling, as well as it can have different access to apps internally. So you can set up things like randomized meetups. Like, for example, if you see that I'm posting a lot about engineers, there's a thing called Trova. You can fill out a profile inside of Slack. And it'll find engineers in your Slack channel that you're in. And it'll say, hey, this person is also looking for something that's similar to you. Or this person is an engineer. Reach out to them. I can show you right now how
I'm using Slack. I know.
Okay.
I'm using Discord and Slack. The both are very good. It's a community oriented, and most of the community are using this as a communication platform.
Yes.
But our mission is not becoming a slave. We are becoming more into social impact hub, where we can actually help the startup, not just be another community where we just have a lot of members in the community and we are not achieving anything. So we have a proper accelerator program where we will take the startup, we help the startup, we connect the startup with the venture, we see the people, we share the information with the community. Okay.
So what is more important, your product or your customers?
Our founders.
The community.
Yeah, the community.
Your customers.
Yeah, it's not customer, it's a community because we are not getting paid. It's a non-profit.
No, you don't. First of all, the difference between a nonprofit and a regular business is what happens with the money afterwards, the profit afterwards. A nonprofit redistributes it to resources inside of the business. For profit sends it to shareholders.
Yeah,
that's the only difference. Second of all, your community is your customer. Point blank, right? They're the ones you're trying to help. They're the ones you're building this entire thing.
Yeah.
If you are precious about your product, your customers will suffer. If you are precious about your customer, your product will get built. If you have a community pre-built, and then you launch your, own proprietary platform afterwards, you have the built-in customers.
I see. So you're saying use the Slack and then move the Slack onto the Propel platform.
Bingo. Because if you start with the proprietary and it doesn't catch and it's having all sorts of problems, you're tossing money, resources, and more importantly, your name down the toilet. Because the longer it takes you guys to launch, the more people are going to ask, why should I care?
Yeah. So the ultimate goal is to create a mobile app and that's the idea behind this, is to make this into something where it's like the open access impact execution engine, where you can just post, here's a problem that exists in the world, I need support with this, then you can crowd raise the funds, you
And
can
I
have the
think that's
task
cool
force,
as fuck,
etc.
but the people are already out there. So
Oh,
get them
exactly.
first.
Yeah. So yeah, how that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why I'm just hosting these open, build-in public sessions. Is I think the most important thing for me is to build a community. You're talking about the smarter idea, which is, what do I do with this community now that I have? How do I manage them, etc.
Yeah.
And I'm open to the idea. I was thinking like
Yeah,
Notion or
it's
something,
a
but Slack,
Slack.
sure.
Slack is the good.
Sure.
I know.
I will need help building it out. is what I'm
I
saying.
have a community and we are using the Slack for the community, not necessarily for providing resources to the community by other platforms. That is also good. We have a NASA, where you will go and create your own space and community from the NASA. That is another platform, very good. And Slack, Discord is very good, where you can share actually the resources with other people.
Listen, all of them are good. Here's the difference between Slack and Discord. Essentially, they do the same thing.
I'd rather do Slack.
But Slack is more professional, and you'll get
that's
an
exactly
older
right.
crowd
Yes.
more interested in it.
Yeah.
So that's an opportunity. But look, if you guys are trying to build that community now, which is what you should be doing during Tech Week, okay, you have to get, first of all, that up and running, because that's how people are going to start connecting. But outside of that, you're looking for people who are willing to dedicate time to add another communication channel. Okay? I can show you right now, I am part of, how many? 3 different Slack groups. One of which I post in regularly, one of which I look at once a week, and one I haven't opened since 2020. If you want to, you can be at any of those levels.
The gamification, I agree.
It's not about gamification. It's about upfront value.
Yeah.
If I go on to a Slack group and I'm just posting, I don't know, I'm doing a thing, or, where do I find whatever, and it's something that I could just as easily look up on fucking Google of all things, that's not going to help you. I'm going to default to something like LinkedIn. That's not your plan, right? Your plan is saying what is going to make your community more valuable than just screaming into the void.
Yeah, personalized insights is what I thought would be the answer to that question. And then I think what you're describing is what I've been doing a poor job of, which has just been bringing the community together and not structuring the content that I want them to produce when talking to one another. And I've been thinking about ways to kind of facilitate that engagement. What are the questions we should be asking, how we should be having them think about the way they communicate, and that is something that we could address now.
Okay, the easy answer is cheat.
What does that mean?
There are 1,000,001 already effective groups doing what you're doing right now.
Okay. Yes.
So
Copy.
Yes, great.
Copy, piggyback off them, partner with them.
Sure.
So,
Steak.
don't do that one. But listen, my feelings aside, they have a pretty good
Community.
Who?
Well,
Steak? Oh, Steak. Is that the gambling company, by the way?
No.
So what is Steak with a bunch of A's?
That's
You have to ask the founder.
yeah. Listen, long story short. Okay. Focus on unique but successful communities.
So
What are
that's what we are trying to achieve.
Okay.
So
I gave you one already. Fabric.
Fabric, yes.
Fabric is an in-person co-working space for community builders. That's what they do. Every single person who is a member at Fabric builds communities. That's what they, bless you. That's what they do. Bless you. Why not go to them, partner with someone in there, say, hey, we are building a community. Either can we be a part of Fabric? Can we host an event with Fabric? Can we do something there?
Fabrik.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking,
in there.
I was thinking also Antler's community hub. They host once a month.
Could be. You could partner with Industrious. They're fucking killing it right now with all of the Instagram ads and getting people on board.
You could partner with the government, the new government.
Actually, yeah, that would be a big.
Can you
exactly.
please
That
help
would
me
be
with
good.
this? This is the exact
That would be good.
conversation I've been needing to having. So there's a bunch of people I have as volunteers, a bunch of people who
Look, you don't
want
have to have
this idea.
volunteers.
Like, I need the next steps, the correct next steps to take with my time and with all of our time, because I feel like I don't want to waste it.
Focus on.
All right,
Who cares about?
throw me a bone here. Who is the team?
Yeah.
I don't know who you guys are and what you guys do individually.
Yes. So
I know you.
Here you go. Oh, this is the wrong one. Wait, this is This is it. Yeah. So
Because that will inform what you should even be doing.
this is the total
What you
list
can do.
of
I guess.
people in the team. Some of them are volunteering more, some of them are volunteering less. Here's how I've been segmenting people into different departments: strategy, fundraising, research, people who support the founders, who is working on the operations, who are the developers, who are the UX UI, product management, marketing, communication, legal, finance. Sure. All
Okay.
these people.
Okay. So then, who of this is actually contributing worth a damn?
Yeah, some of these people are. I mean, that's why we have each of these people are the team leads.
Okay.
And I need to make sure the team leads are doing a better job, or doing a good job at leading each of their departments. And then I'm starting now to have individual meetings each week with each of these teams so that they can
Okay.
report back to me.
Okay. First of all, strategy is a bullshit term. That should just be partnerships.
Sure.
If I were you.
Okay.
Because strategy, that's what all of these guys should be doing. They should be planning ahead. As part of the leadership, their job is to figure out not just what's in front of you, but what's 10 steps ahead.
Mm.
And if they're going to focus on anything, they're not going to focus on the whole board, because that's what you're saying. It's partners and that. I would get rid of that. Your partnership people need to be super, super well connected.
I don't think necessarily they all. This is it. These are the people who have volunteered. You know.
Okay.
And I think I have not. I just got back to New York City. I was building this
Okay.
online for the last 2 months, so I'm trying to now build out the New York City-based people that are
Gotcha.
very well
Okay,
connected.
so this is kind of starting from zero situation?
Kind of.
We have a team in Brazil, in India. Some people are working remotely.
Okay.
So now I highly recommend to start with the New York-based community, because we are here in New York. It's more important for us to start from here to become more successful. And
That I agree with you. The startup community in New York is unmatched.
Yes.
Look,
I would what I would do for the next upcoming week is just go to events where there's a lot of people and talk to people and make them sign up to a general group or whatever, and then categorize them by industries.
I would split them in half. Because I think that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But because this is the only time during the summer
Yep.
where you're going to get just droves and massive amounts of people.
Yep.
So you know what you should do? You should just have on your phone just whatever group chat that you actually made,
Right.
and then go from there.
But the reason I say split them in half
Yeah.
is because the other half should be focusing on smaller events where you can get more intimate
Yes.
and you can partner directly with the people throwing them on.
And ask each person that's on the team that's going to tech events is to have a WhatsApp group chat of your QR code, and make it every day you should get 10 people to sign up.
Well, because the value is right here for you
Exactly.
guys. You have premier access.
To the best network.
Well, I mean, not
Well,
the best network aside.
Yeah,
To the people throwing on the events that put these networks together.
that's actually the most important part.
Because Tech Week will come and go,
Yeah.
but
People,
if you're building here and you want to set up events where people actually show up,
Yeah.
you want to go to the small events
Mm-hmm.
in Tech Week that still get a lot of people.
yes,
Because if you can put 80 people in a room together consistently in New York, you will have more than enough social capital to get whatever you need off the ground.
correct. One example is Crypto Mondays.
Crypto Mondays,
They get
yeah.
a lot of people in.
They're kind of nut jobs, but other
Yeah,
than that,
but I mean.
listen, HR people, fractionals. If you're looking at finance, don't go to IB. Go towards the boring ones, like accounting. They're really good. Partner with Row.
Yeah.
Partner with Rex is a little highbrow. They might go for it after a little bit if you guys really start going towards it.
Yeah.
But if you're targeting more like international communities, you can go towards ASIN. You can do. God, what the fuck is his name?
What?
The
Yeah.
international
I'll come downstairs. Yeah.
engineer dude.
Siam.
Siam.
Yeah.
Siam.
Yes.
Um,
I was saying we were talking to.
and so
Sorry, wait. Do you even know how to write these down? I feel like I cannot remember any of these names unless you guys are gonna remember them for us.
yeah, I'm a Rolodex. You just say, "Oh, do you remember you were talking about that guy?" I'll send him.
Yeah.
I'll send you their link.
Okay. So I want to show you two things first.
I'm a V1 tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
founder network group that we have,
Mm.
which has about 68 people in it. Most of them are founders. A lot of them are, if they're not founders, they're members of our team. Then we have the Propel Earth community, which has 67 members, just people that I've connected with. So that's how large this has gotten, just being a WhatsApp, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
fair.
And that's a testament to you guys being personable, but making this useful for your community is a whole different thing.
Yeah, my focus is so he is going to more focus into building a social network, but my personal focus is to build a community that actually helps the startup, because I do have a business experience and I know what the founder needs and how they, because for the founder the most important thing is to grow the business. If they are not growing the business, then there's no thing. So
Yeah.
I'm going to more focus into this stuff to provide more resources to connect with the founder.
Here's the problem. How do you grow a marketing agency?
So here's the thing. We will partner with a lot of agencies, because once the founders are getting the money, definitely they are going to hire the people. So we already partner with different companies. Okay, the people who is providing this for web development, marketing, all these.
I know that those are providers, but
yeah,
you have to pay them.
No, they will help us at initially.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would they help you initially?
Because once our founder becomes successful, they are going to get value, because
But what's it for them?
Yeah.
Let's
What's the trade?
let's suppose a founder need to hire some legal advisor.
Okay.
So for their startup, they have a money. Okay. So the person who is in our network, we will provide that to the founder, because we are helping founder for a while. We have a set of standards, so that you need to follow this if you are in the part of this community. So then that guy already helping the founder in the day one. So you will choose the founder, and they are getting the business in terms of helping this. So in the both condition is win-win, because you are investing your time to make your business actually, and founders are investing their time to make their business.
Okay.
We as a community are happy because everybody is getting a success.
Because if I'm volunteering my time, it's not going to be for founders.
Yeah.
It's going to be for students. It's going to be for people who got laid off, because that's what I'm actively doing. But I will not help someone build a business.
So these are all the students. They are starting new startups.
Okay. So, but they're starting. Okay. First of all, yes. But
Because
what I'm trying to say,
they are earlier stage people. They don't know how to build a business. Actually.
okay. But what I'm trying to tell you is that marketing agencies, law firms, accounting firms, they will not donate time. Their individual professionals probably will not donate time. But what you're looking for is for them to do that? Is that the ultimate purpose of this? How do they get those resources?
So the thing is, definitely there is a people who is willing to. We already have a people like they are contributing with us. Okay, maybe they are doing full-time job. Okay, and they have like 2 hours, 3 hours. So for the startup, you need to have a direction. Okay, if somebody experienced will only spend 1 and 2 hours a day with you and just seeing what you are building, and after the time that may be spent, so what's wrong with this? They are getting the value, and once let's suppose a startup and the stage where they have a money, they're at least making the money. Okay, so they need help from all these people.
So is it a
give and
promise
get.
for service or for service for or payment for service later?
Yeah, no, it's not necessarily promise, but because we as a community will definitely, if somebody is helping you, so you just need to be help the other person. Like, definitely, a person is like yeah. So how are you?
I don't know.
So here's the thing. Let's suppose a person who is spending time for a while with you, and you become a good company. Okay, are you going to choose the person who you don't know, or you're going to choose the person who you are working for?
I'm going to choose the person that's best for my company.
So that person is best because he helped you to build your company from day one.
That's not a promise for being the best.
Because he is the best, that's why your company is success. Because he guided you to how to do the business.
No, that's because I built the business. That's a different. Okay, look. The qualifying metrics that you're looking for are going to be: I help you now, so you help me in the future.
Not necessarily important because it's only volunteer work. We are not signing any promise or anything with anybody. Okay, if I'm willing to help the founder, you will join. But as a return, we are expecting that you are also getting from the community.
And that's what I'm not seeing, is that I don't see the reciprocal for the professional donating their time.
Exactly. Because, like, when you help a founder out and they get all the help that they need from you, they're going to be like, okay, fuck off.
No. I don't think so. Like, if somebody helped you, okay, let's take your own personal perspective, okay? If somebody helped you from the day one, then you don't have anything, okay? And you become a successful, are you going to leave that person, or are you going to be continuous relationship with that person?
I will help them where I can, but it might not be with my business.
Yeah, that's what we are trying to as a community do. So if he's not at certain point, you realize he's not providing value, you have option to choose. But at least we are also expecting you will be continuous the relation because he dedicated a time for you when you don't have anything. Like, see, a person, like, he is not a founder, okay? He's just learning business. So if we are spending our time for him and we are inviting the resources expert, build a startup and guide him how to do this, help with the paycheck, help to introduce with the founder, investors, okay, everywhere. So once he becomes successful, he is going to leave this show. This is at the end, this company, all these communities and the front of all these communities, he's not a good face. So who want to be like bad face in the front of?
The point of business is not
It's
going
not,
to be.
This is a community. It's not a business. The number one.
It is a business.
It is a business.
Yeah.
You can choose to make it a business. That's what we're trying to decide between you and I. It's like, if this is an incubator, like, that's the business side. But then the community is just, okay, we have this founder marketplace that they can sell things, etc. That can make money, which is good, but it's not necessarily the intention of it.
Yeah.
Look, okay. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of benefit for founders. I very, very clearly see that. I don't see benefit for the professionals donating their time.
That's exactly what everyone's been telling me. Is I want some sort of way in the future that we can have compensation for what we're doing here. And I think if it's just me going out and saying, hey, let's raise a $1.25 million philanthropic donations to support this to run for a year, and I can go travel around the world and get more volunteers and then be paid $15 an hour to go do this work, maybe that's what we can do.
I think that's honestly a smarter idea than asking people to get in a community together and help each other out.
Yeah, no, but they can join the community after.
I mean that would make sense. But look, and here's another option too, is if you wanted to make this 503c, take donation. You can take donation from these professionals in the form of their time, compensated wise. So, for example, if I'm an attorney and I wanted to donate a pro bono amount of time, then I would get the tax write-off of the equivalent of the payment for that. That might be an option. If that is a legal thing that you can do,
That's a smart idea.
I've never thought about that.
yeah, then that might be something you can do.
Okay.
But
That's a smart idea.
What do
that's
you got, Rashad?
I later into the conversation, but I know what Propel is doing from the so this is conditional. What he's saying is conditional to 503c, which is a non-profit format.
Yes.
Cannot be replicated. You cannot accept donations like that for a for-profit. So if your idea is to make money, then the avenues for fundraising would be different, which would be membership fees. There are organizations.
well,
There are private startups like that, which is very community-centered, ecosystem-based kind of business. What they do is you have to be a member of the community, but there comes a fee with it. You of course you're not guaranteed like I'm going to give you exactly these benefits. The benefits come with you. It's like when you go to a club, you can avail of all these sports, you can play everything, but you pay a little fee for that, right? It's not free.
Yes.
And then you can avail for whatever you want. You can book for your slots. Similarly, when you create a business like that, like a business, then it has to be coming from fees or like income, which is not donation.
and well, here's the distinction: is that yes, you can't. The truth is, you can take income, you can get money for services as a non-for-profit, but it's what happens with that money afterwards. Like,
Right.
it's the profit, right? It doesn't get distributed to you as owners; it gets distributed internally. So you can do more programs. You can take on another startup for your incubator later in the next year, right? But you can't
Cannot
take it
redistribute the profits
to yourself.
as
Yeah.
like what do you call it?
Dividends.
Dividends or,
Yes.
or share.
Yeah, or
equity,
bonuses or
equity.
whatever. Yeah.
So you cannot do that.
No. Yeah, you will have
That's
a
a clear
fixed.
distinction in company law or corporate law.
Yes.
And here's the other thing: you will have a board that sits above you that makes the decisions for everything, management wise. So that's going to be another issue. But look, your benefit is very, very clear for founders. Incredibly clear, crystal clear. If I'm getting free help from professionals, fuck yeah, I'm going to join. But if I don't understand as one of the professionals what this is going to do for me, I'm not even going to get close to you guys. It sounds like a scam.
Rob, I agree with you. But yeah, that's the thing. How people decide to make this decision right now because they just want to help people. And I think that's the thing that we're doing really well is saying if you want to just help people, just start doing it. And that's what people have done. The people that haven't
Bro,
done it,
sometimes
are those
people
that
just
can't.
need fucking people to talk to and a mentor. Like right now, yeah, sure, we're a fucking scam, but you know how many scams I've been a part of? A lot, and I'm not in jail right now.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm joking.
Yes.
Look, right now, there's no benefit to joining besides like fucking Stefan and everybody else who's super energetic about Propel. Because like it's someone to talk to. Like building as a founder is super, super, super lonely. I don't know how many of you guys in here have had previous startups or whatever, but it's fucking boring. It's lonely, and that's probably like the number one cause as to why people leave startups and they go find something else. Shit, like I raised money and then I fucking closed down my startup the next month because like I realized like this is just boring. And I didn't have a number two man, right? But like Steph, team, the founder support team, they're the number two men. And so right now, there's no more value outside of community.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna have value. We're gonna have founders. We're gonna have investors in our network. We're gonna have service providers that are providing like a discounted rate service, and we're going to have mentors. Like this could be the next big incubator, specifically for impact-driven startups.
What?
So I laughed at what you said, but in reality, like yeah, sure, who fucking gives a shit? Sell the vision, sell the fucking FOMO, and we can do that. Founders want community. Founders want community. I can't stress that enough.
We need to represent ourselves better.
What is the challenge that you're facing with what you have right now?
Trying to organize everything together.
We try
and
to.
Are you
onboard
saying
more
that you
people.
cannot go to these present? I mean, I have a solution to that if that's a problem. Are you saying that you cannot go to this present set of founders who already subscribe to the community and now kind of reaping the benefits of how do we go back and tell them now that we're going to be charging you subscription?
Well, it's not necessarily charging them subscription. We could do something where we help them with affiliate marketing, or we could do something where we help them with raising capital. Like
No,
there's other
so
ways
is
to help them get money.
When you say you are going to be helping them, who is this you?
The founder
Oh.
success team.
whole community that is
Of Propel or
Yes,
of
we
the
have
community
Propel.
that you
The-
create?
we have
The
like a-
ecosystem or Propel itself?
So I will show you guys two things right now. First, okay, I don't know if you guys can't read
I
this.
also just noticed that Adil and Stephen were giving me two different answers.
Oh, wait, what are you saying?
Yeah. You almost like spoke over each other, but I realized that your answers were different.
Okay, wait. What did I say and what did he say?
I didn't hear. I just noticed that I also like lost what you guys said, but you guys gave different answers. When I said that, what is it that you really want? You want them to come and give money to you, the existing community members.
The founders? No, we don't want to charge
Not
the founders.
we are
No,
not profit. We are not for profit.
So you're sure you're gonna go for the non-profit
Yeah.
route?
The
This is the
non-profit.
established-
Yeah.
Right now we're not a non-profit. I will say that we are a Delaware C Corp right now.
Right.
Use every.io.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So we could do all we're for profit. We're going to be the next social impact.
We are
Yeah.
still in the situation like there is two ways. But I really want there is a lot of communities. Okay, all you guys are the part of few community. Okay, but the problem is that communities are not really beneficial for the founders. So if we created another community just to be connected with the founders, so that is not enough. So we need to provide a value by helping actually.
Yeah, I understood that, but I'm saying like, what is the present challenge that you're facing? Is the like organization of the whole?
Yeah, the structure.
That's what I'm trying to say. The
like-
funnel for how we're going to be marketing
So
ourselves,
we-
etc. Onboarding new people, volunteers.
Yeah, so we onboard new people, we onboard founders, we onboard investors and experts, mentors who will help the already community. That we
Okay, so
have.
what's the pitch to the mentors? What's the pitch to the experts?
Give fucking back. Volunteer.
So-
I'm Rick.
Okay. So this is why I'm trying to show you guys this right here. Okay, this is one of the original ways that we were talked about making this. Okay, which would have been like an S corp or PBC structure, and then a non-profit 501c3. That way you'd have different entities. You'd first have something like the marketplace that we described.
Are
which
you
has-
actually presenting right now? Because if you are, then we can.
it doesn't.
I just like one slide.
Yeah, it's just
Then I
this
put
one
one
slide.
closer.
Yeah.
Then I'll come closer.
Yeah, it is just one slide. They basically have the marketplace first, which is just saying, hey, we have all the service providers that do the legal, the finance, the accounting, etc. Anything that you want to be done, and that's part of the 501c3 organization. That's how we earn revenue. That's just having the service providers on site. Next, you have sort of like the VC fund. What are we going to be doing if we actually create something as an incubator? We're going to be investing directly into these companies, and then we're going to be reaping the benefits of that. And that's outside. That is the for-profit entity. Then you have the nonprofit, where you basically have all this different non-dilutive capital that you're raising to specifically support the programming that you're running. Beyond that, you have the advisors and the mentors, where you can have equity-based safe agreements with them, or fast agreements with them, where you're specifically having that be towards the cohort teams in the actual like VC fund, where the mentors could be specifically the founder success team is helping the general nonprofit teams, but then the mentors come in if they're going to be helping the cohort teams. They can get compensated for that specifically.
Okay, so they're getting paid with equity.
Sort of, yeah, exactly. And then you have entry funding.
I had this question.
Yeah, and then you have
Kind of
education.
Like,
Yeah.
It's conflicting with what I see.
That's
is
it.
the-
Yeah, because then that's not
That
just
is-
helping.
That is the
That is
for-profit.
getting paid.
That is the for-profit.
The moment
right
you
there.
said safe,
So
Well,
there is
fast,
two.
fast, yeah.
There is
Yeah.
two
I
models.
said it wrong,
You
yeah.
need to understand.
Exactly,
We have
yes.
not finalized both models.
But this
okay?
is it.
Yeah. So one is for the profit. So for the
Yep.
profit, we can be same like another company, and the non-profit. So we need to choose. We still in a situation where we are getting the feedback from all the people, like from the expert, from the investor, from the founders, because we want to create a community that actually provide a value and get the value. That I told you, like if somebody is getting, but we are in this situation like right now, we are not in the stage we will promise to anybody to do this and get this, because we are still in the stage where we have not final structure of organization.
Yeah, because the
Say,
non-profit and
yeah,
for-profit is
yeah,
what we're saying.
non-profit, yeah, for-profit.
Both
because,
of them.
Yeah, but our when we start this, we intend to start as a non-profit, but we see a lot of challenging. Then we put both model in front of people. Choose like wise, because the ultimately goal is to help the founders to build a startup, social impact startup. That's what we actually want.
Yeah.
Like through profit or through non-profit.
Yep, the goal is to solve problems.
Yes, the goal is ultimately to
Those
solve the
companies.
social impact problem.
Mm-hmm.
But we really want to provide actual quality work instead of just building a community that just the part of the community, a member of the community, they are not contributing to the community. So what we expect from the people who is the part of our community to actually contribute, and we as a Propel team will be tracking every activities. If we realize this person is not going to be helpful, we cannot be much.
Well, yeah, that's your community management as a whole.
Yeah.
But the quality or the promise that you have on one side is, again, very, very clear. If I am a founder and I join Propel, I'm going to get help. On the other side, the people who are supposed to be giving that help, the benefit is just the volunteer work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I really want to go raise
a
funds,
lot of-
philanthropic capital, to make this something that can be
And
paid
so, if you're raising funds,
from the
right?
nonprofit.
If
But
if you're raising donation, because that's what that's going to be.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
a not-for-profit, you have to raise donations.
Yes.
And the money isn't going to anyone other than the services that you're trying to provide.
And then I honestly think, and I don't want to go completely, just when you get to a certain point of scale of people using the platform, there's going to be a lot more ways for us to monetize it and make more recurring revenue without just having to do donations.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Okay. So then that has to be your pitch, and you have to be able to do it like super soon.
Oh my god,
When-
I'm pitching at New York Tech Week. I know.
Yeah.
This is why I'm having this conversation with you, is to refine what I'm going to say.
Okay. So you're
Nonprofit is not made, though. That's the only problem. I can make the nonprofit today, right now. This is the direction. And I've been saying I'm going to make the nonprofit, but I just haven't finished it. I've been talking more.
Yeah, we have not finalized.
What
this
are
yet.
your incentives of making it a non-profit and not go the for-profit route?
What are the incentives? Like, just to raise the philanthropic funding through the nonprofit and finalize this as being the ultimate structure.
well. The other thing is you can compensate professionals without using money. You wouldn't have to use donations because if they are donating to you
This
using
is
their
good
time,
idea. I like this idea. I think this is very good idea because then they will realize, okay, if I spend 2-3 hours extra and getting the benefit from my taxes, so they will spend the money. You know.
So the only problem that you're going to have is that larger corporations, larger businesses will not make those donations because they already have internal programs for that. Law firms have to do pro bono work. That's it. That's point blank. That's part of the law, at least in New York State. They have to do pro bono work. Okay? Places like Ernst & Young, Deloitte, they also have internal programs. But what you're targeting are mid-range to mom-and-pop providers. And the benefit for them would be getting the tax write-off.
So I think what I see that getting solved from this slide is that Stefan was talking about making a marketplace. So even though there are law firms and there's so many other kinds of organizations or professional services that would have a pro bono element that they have to do that, Propel becomes like a marketplace. Like that product or that service that Propel is giving to the community is that I'm the marketplace. You may have a lot of, you may want to give pro bono services to people. You can also get those people from me.
So why not just market it
Then you
as
become
a
the supplier.
marketplace for pro bono services for
Sorry.
founders?
Yeah, I mean, it's the impact support network.
So basically, he becomes the agency to provide those those requesters for those services, for this pro bono service. Taking law, for example, like if you go to say, what's the name of this famous law firm, the ones that start with F, forgot.
Barnes and Selena Barnes.
What?
Sure.
No, I'm talking about Fragoman?
I don't know.
Go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so for example, that firm, and they do also pro bono work, and then a lot of other, like Amara Consulting. Now, they would either have to do pro bono, and people will send requests to them, and they will have to take the pro bono and kind of like budget that. Okay, we have this much of budget for this pro bono work. You could be like, I could just take care of that, and I could give you people who will help you accomplish your pro bono goals. For example, I'm just giving one example. I don't know, like. I really don't know how does this pro bono mandate work for different industries or different professionals. But if it's the same for other industries like accounting or marketing or PR, I don't think that PR and marketing would have any pro bono.
No.
I don't think that those are very profit-making industries. They would not work on it. for legal professional services, for legal accounting, maybe taxation, maybe some kind of other work, maybe have those things. The last two, I definitely feel there is no scope for pro bono work. Nobody's doing free marketing consulting because by nature, these services are making money for other people. And then you cannot do pro bono work for people making money for free for you.
I would argue that the ones where there is no market for pro bono work, you could use academic work for that. So, for example, people doing studies, doing masters and doctorates, doing theses in how to market for whatever type of business or industry of business. You could partner with NYU, you could partner with Columbia, and then you could have them come in as consultants working on that capacity.
You mean
Yes.
like
Well, slightly different from researchers, but the academic route, yeah, okay. Well, the academic route you can absolutely do. The only problem that you're going to get with that is that you have to really be there will be some areas where you can do it, and you absolutely cannot. So, for example, law, right? A law student cannot clerk for a
anything
startup.
to do with license.
Anything that has to do with license, law, or law, finance, accounting, anything that has to do with the medical field,
Or even taxation, I think the only
or
licenses.
engineering. All of those things out the window. Those cannot be academic programs. But things like marketing should be more than fun. And that's probably where you're going to get the most of your donation in terms of like actual usable work.
The caveat there could be
It's a bunch of kids doing stupid
yeah.
bullshit.
So
Yeah.
the founders are like, oh, why the fuck do I when I have
Yeah, why am I going to take on an intern?
Why not then
Why are you going to take on an intern?
I mean, they could do it because it's getting free work, but then again, we're looking at a marketplace model where we become someone who is providing we are the marketplace for these internship supplies of like expertise or whatever we call it, and then there are people who are takers because they want cheap free labor because they're founders.
It's true, actually, yeah.
Yeah, but the
Didn't
point
even
is
think
that
of
Interns are very, very
Why not
useful.
we can make our own fund?
But then you have to
non-profit
train
fund.
them.
No.
That's the.
Oh, yeah, there's the other thing.
Why not we
You have
can?
to train them, and then also
train
like, you have
them.
to make sure it's valuable.
Well, I mean, you could. So you
Is
could.
there any way we can make our own non-profit fund where the people
So
the
you-
people are donating a
You
huge money,
could.
okay? So we can create a social impact non-profit fund for the social enterprises.
You
okay?
could.
Yeah, you absolutely could. The problem with donations in the form of monetary value so that you can exchange it for actual services is that those like your the amount that you can raise from that is way less than if you just ask people to donate time. For example, I teach people how to know their hourly rate.
Mhm.
And when they know their hourly rate, they're less likely to donate their time because they associate it with the money, right? I would much rather go out somewhere, spend an hour talking to you guys, for example, than just hand you guys $250.
Yeah, of course.
Because
Then
that's-
this is more valuable, your time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what you're banking on. You're banking on tricking people into donating their time instead of their money. But when you ask for money directly, it's much more difficult.
Yep, because for the last few weeks we are really discussing about long-term sustainability for the this community because it's really important to have a value for everybody so that we can get a quality. Because I see that you mentioned the value for the founder is clear, but the people who are contributing, we are talking about with few people from the last few weeks. We had a lot of conversation, but still we are in that place. But number one, we will be like, okay, anybody who is like interested to contribute, they will come and contribute. But maybe this is not a good model because at a certain point we are going to lose the quality of
I think we need to have a more clear funnel, and that's exactly what I've been saying this whole time.
So
I need
hey,
help building
let's
that out.
change this work group to creating a funnel because we're just going around in circles and I'm really bored.
I mean, I think we've been making a lot of progress, but I agree. We had been talking about all of it, and I don't want these thoughts to get lost. Like, what are the actions that we can take before if I logged you in this room and said, let's
Great.
make this.
So let's build a standard operating procedure for the funnel. of whatever else, like whatever we're trying to accomplish here. But let's start doing that. So we'll break out of the
Actually, yeah. Wait, so you've already been recording the notes, right, Jordan? So do you want to have us go through the notes then, or are we interrupting a larger conversation that we should keep on going with? Raise your hand. What do you think? I'm asking you mostly. What do you think?
Dude, I don't know. I had no idea what this thing even was until I got
Me
here.
either.
So you've got me for the next 48 minutes.
Okay. So that's it.
What's your feedback on whole this conversation?
Yes.
What you like? What we are trying to build is valuable or not? Like, what do you think is the idea there behind the Propel Art is? How you like this idea?
I think it's cool, but from someone who was a founder that transitioned into a service provider, I really, really understand the founder side, but I don't see the bone for the service provider. And it really limits you guys' possibility for doing something super, super cool. Because if you have to go out and you have to pitch to founders, you'll get founders tomorrow.
Yes.
So what's the solution?
The solution is figure out if you want to be a non-for-profit. If you don't want to be a non-for-profit, you got to figure out a way to scam people into giving them your time for free.
What if I just charge them a little bit, like, or not charge them, but like pay people to do this work? Like, how can we make a sustainable business model based off of this? What we're doing? That's the biggest question that
Which is why I was bringing the point of membership fees.
Yes.
So that you have a certain fund that is always there, and of course, a part of the whole model would still be scamming people for volunteer work, but it could also mean that if there are people, you can say we can create like a package that, for example, if you come to me, I do some kind of coaching work for some people. So, but I don't have only so much bandwidth. I can tell you that I want to be volunteering for Propel, but I can only coach 3 people in the whole month. I can only give 6 hours.
That's fine.
The whole month. Beyond that, I'm willing to do that, but I need some compensation. Now I can do a hybrid model for providers like myself, and I can be like, okay, after the 3rd person, bring that, like putting that idea out. But what I mean, this can of course change. I'm just like, all these numbers are like hypothetical, but that could be something that you could explore. That okay, volunteer, we're gonna give you like two teams to coach on the business, on the sales strategy, on the law, whatever that is, and then after that, from the 3rd one onwards, what you also do is then you also hold yourself responsible as Propel, as a non-profit, to targets. That okay, we have taken money from these founders, and we have created this. We have created say like a $20,000 fund from these 10 founders, and these people are supposed to pay say like a membership fee of say $200 a month for a few months, for example.
But my model is different. What I believe is if we want to sustain that, I am convincing Stefan for a while, is we can take the startup, good startup, go to the market, raise the money, and we can ask the founder to like give some spend with us, like as a company, so that we can also sustain.
When you said raise the money, what do you mean?
I don't think that's a bad idea. The problem is you're putting all your eggs in one basket as a company. You're making one giant bet.
It's also not as big enough of an impact.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that. But like, if your bet goes south, you're fucked. That's it. Your method I really like because it at least has a key into future work, right? If you're trying to do something, even like a partial payment in, let's say, publicity, right? If you can build a portfolio off of Propel, right? That might be more valuable than just asking them for no money at all. Giving them maybe 50% of their fee plus the ability to, put cameras and record everything.
So here's what I see here. Let's suppose once we build a community and successfully launch a company, definitely at that point we will solve a lot of problem because we have already our own companies that we launched, and they are going to be donate money to us definitely. So, because if you build something it's bigger, they will. But for getting at that stage, we need to have some strategies. Like it's not like if we build some company that is that become a bigger and have a revenue on millions. Definitely, at that point, the company will also donate back to the company because I do have an experience in companies are doing this. Instead of like if you are a non-profit and they instead of paying the tax, they will donate the money to same company and that would be calculated as a tax.
You know what?
Was your revenue model only based on donations so far?
So there is two ways that we are fighting for a while to understand. The one is we will go, we become a community, a sport community, and support the founders and build the startup.
This is sports community.
The founders and build whole startup and get the money from the startup and take the stake like same any other. But at the very beginning, we will provide the things, and through this, basically, we are going to generate a lot of revenue. If our 1, 2, 3 companies become successful, then we will pay the people who is associated with us. But that is the other is totally non-profit. We are not going to get anything like this.
Okay, so look,
Stefan, is this similar to what Shyam is doing right now?
No, Shyam is not
taking
doing
money
it.
after a year. Like a fee.
He doesn't take any money from any of the incubator communities.
I mean, that's the new model, right? You know that, right? That's the one that he discussed with me.
I don't know his new model.
That's now it's sounding like what
These are the two models. We are not decided yet. So,
Okay.
It's interesting though. I would like to hear more about it, but first,
so look, I think you guys should not be targeting startups during tech. You should be targeting the people that attract startups, which would be the people that attract startups.
That's startups.
Yes. So like investors, high profile service providers, people with the ability to, if you put them on a sheet and say, we have these people available for you to talk to them right now.
I agree, yeah.
That's
because,
what you
because
should,
founders are
yeah.
anyway going to get glued to you because you're giving free services to them.
Yeah.
Unless you think of a model where you're asking them for fees, which could be minimal, but then it's still founders are the ones who you are actually serving, and then you're trying to solve the problem with the providers, and that becomes your actual client acquisition target. Like these are the people who I need to be on board so that they can give service.
Yeah.
Because founders are going to be coming anyway. You're trying to help them, but the help providers are the ones who may not be wanting to do it for free. The reason why that becomes a more difficult fish to catch.
all you need is enough bait on the hook to get founders to come. And once they congregate big enough, they will naturally attract more service providers. But it's that initial traction that you need.
Yeah,
to get them.
That's the challenge actually. And so how we can definitely if we are onboarding any expert or anybody, they are also thinking in same way like you're thinking. Okay.
Well, the idea is clear.
Yeah.
Figure out what is your business model. Because if you can sell one way or the other, right now your problem is that you can't decide. Because once you have a clear direction, you can at least pitch that to these high-level service providers and investors. And then if they bite, you just need a couple.
Yeah, that's why we just need to onboard the people. We just
No, but
want
you need to focus specifically on them. It is not about getting a ton of people all at once, because that doesn't help you. You need to get enough quality names behind you to then say, okay, we have this. Then you get serious founders and the non-serious ones. Who gives a shit? You get a big pile of them, and then you attract the next stage of growth. But you have to have something that you can directly say, this is the reason why you should join. And it can't just be social impact for social impact's sake. It has to be, this is the benefit that you get out of joining us instead of doing pro bono work for Presbyterian or working for Deloitte's Green Foundation. Like has to be some direct.
Imagine building in public as a concept right here, and if we could expedite that, so that if you are coming to volunteer for us, your message, if your service provider is being blasted out into the world, if you're a founder, it's the same way.
Because building in public right now is not being done correctly. And we can really, that's what I'm saying, marketing. I think that there's so many ways that we can replicate what is being done right now by those who are going viral and those who are doing things that are controversial and make it into a way that we're building a support network for startups, for service providers, for everybody who wants to make an impact, and then just doing the impact storytelling better and then getting them to find their target clients, etc.
Okay. That's essentially what you're doing, but what we are trying to solve, Stefan, here is that how do we do it?
Exactly.
What you're saying is the
copy,
what piece of it.
Yes.
And how we do it, we can do it through a profit route or non-profit. And what he's saying is that we need to be very clear of what you are actually giving to the service providers, which is right now not clear because the service receivers are going to be very clear what they want. You as a founder,
that's what I'm saying.
You know, all.
Okay, this has been bugging me for a while. I'm Charlie.
So, yeah, I've been thinking Rishabh.
Rishabh.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, what's this gentleman's name?
What do you do by chance? Are you a coach?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
He's one of the investors.
No, it's not.
When did that happen? Okay.
Okay, I was about to.
We used to work together.
Stefan and I are ex-colleagues.
Yes,
Gotcha.
Okay. At the Social Impact Venture Capital Incubator.
Gotcha. Okay.
We were the only New York City.
So my personal opinion was that when I joined the Propel is let's build a community on the base of equity, okay, where we help the startup at the very end, and we will say, okay, we are building this startup, and the initial founder need help, okay, where they don't have money or resources to build the product and MVP to raise the money. We will build with the founder, and once we raise the money to us, we will take the stake with the company, and that will be our sustainable long-term revenue. But because here the factor is that we have a social impact, so we are also considering that how we are not going to take stake because there is already a lot of accelerator programs they are doing this.
Okay, yeah,
which is why I was nodding my head when I'm like, okay, but that conflicts with your idea of being a non-profit because your model that way, if you're trying to take a stake in somebody's business, clearly moves away from a non-profit.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, you
non-profit.
I don't think
still
non-profits
do it.
can do
You can still do it. It's about the recognized gain and then what you do with the gain afterwards when you sell the amount that you own of that
And
business.
then you also have to like reframe how you're using that. What is the revenue like? You take a fee and not a profit cut.
No,
Especially
I mean,
because you're looking at a portfolio of companies.
no, it's more about the personnel. We can get into this a little bit later, but the long and the short of it is a non-for-profit versus a for-profit. They can do business the same exact way.
Right.
Same exact. Think everything is the same. It's just what happens when you make money at the end of the year, right? The profit that you have cannot go to the people that own that business. It has to go to the resources inside of the business.
So then that will work for us. Let's suppose we have an expert, so they are contributing their value. So if the startup they are working with specific startup, so once the startup raising money and we are getting our stake, they are basically getting the value.
Yeah, listen, I think a non-for-profit would be a smart move. It's just a shit ton of paperwork on the back end, and then everyone is going to be holding a microscope to you. And even on top of that, you have to figure out how to get a relatively okay board from the start. So if you can solve those three parts, this is probably the perfect model for you guys. But that also implies that you can sell this in a decent amount of time, where you can do it and sell it so that the providers understand that, oh, this isn't going to be happening next year. This is like next month. If you told me today that I could donate, I don't know,
$10.
like 10 hours a month at $2,500, and I can write that off on my taxes, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
I don't know how does that actually work, like in practice. Like, how do they have to raise an invoice? Or how does that work?
Yeah,
how do you get tax exemption?
So that's the other thing too. You're gonna have to get a really fucking good tax attorney at first, and then accountant later down. But
it's very complex, right?
It's stupidly complex.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to.
Yeah, like I could say that I am donating 10 hours, and I could bill anywhere from like a $50 to like $1,000 an hour.
It would have to align with your public offer.
Non-profit fund,
like the standards.
Is there any model like where we can actually build our non-profit fund to invest into the profit companies
and get the profit to put that profit into non-profit resources.
It's usually the other way around.
No,
Usually.
listen, non-profits can own for-profit. For-profit cannot own non-profit.
Isn't it the other way around?
No. Rolex, for example. Rolex is a great example. Rolex is owned by a non-for-profit foundation. But
for-profits can also own foundations, like it's a non-profit.
no, they can have foundations. They're a separate entity. They're not owned. So they're under the same name usually, but that's
So ownership is not.
ownership is done by its separate board, by its separate whole separate structure. So you can have a non-for-profit that owns a for-profit, but if any of that for-profit money goes back to the pockets of any leadership or board member in the for-profit, or the non-for-profit, sorry, you guys are exponentially fucked by the IRS and by your local state governments.
No, so our purpose is to put these resources into our resources, not into the founding teammates.
Yeah, so then just keep it a non-for-profit. That's all you have to do. You don't have to have a for-profit structure or function.
And Charlie, I just realized that you and I have been talking about possibly two different kinds of organizations, because I was like, you're using non-for-profit, not for profit often, and I was using the word non-profit because we actually essentially they mean different things.
Yes,
and
I'm
that's
talking
why
about
there were
503C.
That's why one of those things that
yes.
I was saying that you're talking something which you can reimburse the same money back into the system is different for not-for-profit versus non-profit.
Yes.
And I did not I just read about it while you were talking, so yeah. So
I'm an accountant by trade, so that's why I know.
Oh, okay.
So the structure of those businesses, either way.
So now I'm also thinking a lot. Stephen, go ahead and talk.
Yeah, this is it right here, guys. We have half an hour of time to decide what is it that we're gonna do. Okay.
Okay, beautiful. Let's do that.
What were you
Let's
gonna
make
say?
it happen.
If I'm you guys,
Yes.
I'm going to target major investors, people who would, at the drop of the hat, be interested in, at the very least, donating. I'd put like $10K into this, right? That means you meet them probably at the most premier events during Tech Week. Which ones? Andrew Young, obviously.
A16Z.
The A16Z opener, AWS opener, the
Amazon opener.
Well, that's AWS.
No. Oh yeah.
AWS what?
Yeah.
Amazon Web Services?
Google.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, Amazon Web Services.
Google.
What does Google have going on right now?
Where's the demo? Techstars
Oh
has a
yeah,
demo.
that's right. I forgot about that. Okay.
Techstars has a demo.
I wouldn't do Techstars because Techstars is everyone's going to be there for Techstars.
Yeah,
You guys are that's your
I-
competitor.
That's true.
There is no competitors, by the way, in what
Shut
we're
the
doing.
fuck up, Steph. There are competitors.
I don't believe that at all.
Your
Okay.
ex-boss is a competitor.
No, he's not.
Chandler, I'm saying, Stefan, you just gave me.
Stefan, there's no competitors. There's no business.
And by the way, the idea that you just told me, you guys have been talking about that you're not aware. Chandler did tell me that we are going to be taking a cut as a fee from the startup that we're going to be providing. You're not aware of that because I was working with a startup with Chandler, and this is the model that we're going to close the contract on. It didn't work because I left, and it wouldn't work now. But that was it.
Well, I didn't know about this,
I'm
so
saying that
Chandler
there are
can't say I copied his model. That's all I have to say, okay?
I mean, he would possibly say
But
that
I was not the
Rishabh
part
took
of
the idea
this
and gave
team.
it.
This is all my
He's possibly
idea.
going to blame me.
Yeah. It's all of our idea.
Yeah.
It's okay, but what I'm saying is that yes, there is always competition of
Yeah.
ideas, and they are there.
But
We may not be
the
able
thing
to
is, in
know.
my head, it's like this. It's all trying to solve. And actually, this is what I was going to say. One of the things I never mentioned before is this. Like, the whole idea of the bounty model and saying, like, hey, here are the problems we think are the hardest to solve in the world. Let's go put a dollar amount on solving them. Whoever
See,
can
that's
provide the
sick.
solution. Yes,
That's
awesome.
dope.
Yes.
But to do that,
You need money.
you need
Yeah.
oodles and oodles of fucking money.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not worried about getting the money because I can convince all of you guys who care a lot, and I have never talked to the high net worth individuals.
Look, you have
You
to.
can. Did you say you cannot? Or you
I have not.
Look, you have to connect with the community, connect with the government, and then they will give you the funding.
When you say
depending on
government,
what
who do you mean specifically?
I need to know how to do
City of
that.
New York, mayor's office.
Who do you
Mayor's
use?
office,
Like,
contact NYU, Columbia, their business councils, or what do you call those? The cells that they have.
Yeah. You can even go to individual boroughs, the Queens,
No.
Commerce.
Okay, the
Harvard.
Commerce.
I mean, he's
Boston
not New York
University.
City though. That's why you need New York City as a point of, you know.
You know what? Save yourself some time. Just go through the mayor's office. Fuck it.
Yeah.
That's
Who in the
usually.
mayor's office?
They might just also give us resources to kind of connect with.
Yes, they would. I honestly, guys, like I need us
Who in the
to
mayor's
document
Just go
it.
in.
Who's the point of contact?
Just go in and ask. That's
No,
it.
what
Go
we
and ask.
let's put the
First,
problem
and
is
then,
we have not reached out to the people because
We don't know how we're going to represent ourselves.
we have not finalized what we
Yes.
what's our ultimate goal
Yeah.
is. Like we have two ideas, we need to final and then go to
What
the
are the two ideas? Can you sum them up real quick for us?
Huh?
The two ideas. Can you sum up the two ideas real quick?
One sentence, two ideas.
that I explained for profit and non-profit.
We can do both.
So
There's not-
we said we could do both. We
Yeah.
already talked and established that we
Yeah.
could do both.
Yeah.
So are we going to do both? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we already know what we're doing. We have a for-profit arm. We have a non-profit.
So
arm.
how we represent this then?
Yeah, exactly. How do I do the fundraising
Yeah.
for New York Tech Week right now this week? Because the fact that the nonprofit is not created yet, and only the for-profit is, and we could build these relationships with them. But it would be easier to
Just
say
because-
if we were a more established
Just because
nonprofit.
it's tech week doesn't mean you have to get the cash in your pocket that week.
You just make the relationships with the investors.
So
You don't have to get
we
the cash
present the
from-
non-profit, not the profit.
You can represent
You can represent
this
both.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but it's become more complex to
No,
convince
it
somebody.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Just have to go to that.
You're
No.
saying mostly for
No, it's complex. I
to
believe
raise
it's
funds.
complex.
You're saying present both.
Just make sure you make the distinction because if you say one and not the other, you're gonna get fucked in the long run.
Exactly.
If you say that you are raising for a non-for-profit and you only have a for-profit and someone gives you a donation thinking that it's going to be for a non-for-profit and you take it, you're fucked.
I agree
Guys,
with
you
you.
guys are fucking going around in circles right now. You don't need to take the money just because it's tech week. Like we can wait to establish.
Yeah, that's actually. I wanted to ask you guys this then. So, if I create the nonprofit today, is that not going to look weird for people? That like, oh, this guy just made a nonprofit right now, whatever. Like,
I don't.
I mean, it can
No,
also
nobody
be-
gives a fuck.
nobody cares.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I was asking. That's all I was asking.
Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna be asking you to incorporate it.
Then
I don't think people ask for like when did you get? when
I
did you
can
start it?
incorporate my nonprofit.
No,
Monday, whatever.
they'll
Yeah.
care about how well you sell the non-for-profit message.
Oh, I
That's
agree.
all.
I agree.
That's-
That's what I
And
need
by
to know.
the way,
That's
even
what
if it were
we
to be
need, how to
questionable
present this
because you started it today,
whole
it's
idea.
fine.
Yeah.
People do it because I wanted to do it before the tech week. Yes, that's why I
Yeah,
couldn't
but then
incorporate
we
it before.
decided
I mean, I
here
don't
at
think there's
Finish
anything
It
wrong
Friday.
about-
So we had to finish it Friday strong, okay?
Today's Friday.
Today is Friday.
This is why Finish It Friday. That's the name of the live stream that we're doing right now. Like,
Alright, then we'll
Like a
we need to get some food
Sound
first.
like a jingle or something. Let's finish it Friday.
we actually do have a jingle that we created.
Are you visiting?
But yeah, let's decide this right now then. What are the action steps
Everything
needed to
is
take
for a week.
right now? We're going to target major investors, go to the Andrew Young, A16, AWS, Google Techstars. We're going to say... Tavern?
We can ask the people.
Yeah,
What's tavern?
Tavern is it's a community. They have a big thing on a yacht at Sunday. Not this Sunday, the next one.
Can we talk after so you can help me with all these and get
Yeah,
it on my phone?
get all these and send
Thanks.
to group. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll forget.
Yeah, but so this is it. Like, I feel like I've been waiting to have the conversations with the people in New York City to uplift this idea. I'm interested now. I'm seeing that other people have the same idea.
Other people.
Other people.
Hey,
Our
our ex-boss is copying me. Is that it you're saying?
Actually,
If you wanna hear it
nobody
like
is
that.
copying. We come up with our own
We're
idea
copying
from
him.
talking from last few weeks and
Yes.
doing the same thing every week. And
better.
I'm so frustrated now. We have not come up the action plan.
The
Yeah.
Xbox also has ideas here. He doesn't know how to execute the ideas.
Hey, look behind us. Propel execution. Okay, that's what this room is for. So what else do we have to? We have to actually. I need a pitch deck, or I need a. And you know what? We literally made those people pitch. We made Arun pitch when he came into the room. What is the pitch? If I'm Stefan, I'm doing this that we can do right now. Is that what we need to spend the time on, or what?
Yeah, definitely. We need only 1 minute to convince
Okay.
fucking person to
1
come
minute.
with us.
1 minute. You need 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
we are the
People
community
don't
for
give a
social.
shit about long conversations.
What is
Yeah.
what is Propel Earth? The volunteer community for impact.
I don't like it.
No, the community for impact. That's fine. That's
No,
fine.
no, that's fair. That's
If
real.
you ask me
That's
like on spot, but the moment you say volunteer community, I'm like, no.
I just had before just the community for impact.
No,
No?
I will say it's we are community for founder success.
No.
No. Look, okay. I usually charge people a lot of money for this.
Thank you.
But what you need is called a flyby message. It's the antithesis of an elevator pitch. Elevator pitches are garbage because they take too long and everyone gets bored. What you need are, if you're imagining being on the street right now, someone runs past you, yells something, and you understand what they're trying to tell you, that's exactly what you need, right? My flyby is I help people beat AI.
Sure.
Okay? Does it completely explain my services? No. But it gets people asking questions. What do you mean? How, what concept? That's what you need to start.
I help founders for free.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I mean,
that's
that, you're closer.
Well, I realize that not only
You're-
Stefan and I are colleagues, I think Matthew also.
Look, that's
Yeah.
those at least.
He's
You're-
also a colleague.
Okay.
Listen,
you're
that's
okay.
going to be the main basis for what you do, but really the people that you're talking to when
I think
you talk to them.
that's just
Why don't you talk to
effective,
them?
effective communication, like in like in psychology generally. It's like when you go on a date, you don't like explore every single information about yourself, and you get the other person curious. Like it's like a dating tip. If
Yeah.
you guys are going on dates, use that. It's gonna be helpful. Same thing goes for even investors. They're like you're on a date with them, and you gotta tell them things that is gonna get them hooked because they are firstly meeting thousands of other people every day. What is gonna get them hooked?
I agree.
And
I
here's-
help.
And here's the other thing: don't just focus on investors. Focus on the not just
Well,
people.
not just people.
Yeah,
Well,
they're all
founders.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, not founders. Fuck founders.
They're all people. The general
Founders-
category, they're all humans.
Oh my god. Okay.
Service providers.
Service, high level service providers.
Yeah. Yep.
That's partners. in-
Executives, actually, we can say like
No, not executives.
No.
Executives run their business, and they're not going to donate time for someone else's business. That's fucking stupid. You need high level
But
service
if,
providers
if
like
some
partners.
executive
Yeah.
agree with us, they will be helping with us too.
No, they don't
Maybe later
want.
on.
They
I don't
don't
think that
want to
the-
do that
I don't think that's the right time
No.
for it.
unless
I
they
think-
are also investors or service providers themselves. They don't care. You need service providers and investors. Those are the two. You need partners from I don't know, BCG, McKinsey, Big Four. What's the fucking
JP
marketing
Morgan.
one? What's the marketing? Oh, JP Morgan. Well, yeah, banking.
Yeah.
JP Morgan, Chase, whatever. Well, maybe not
well,
executives there, like VPs
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
VPs are.
Or like, yeah, VPs.
Yeah.
I got one.
And then, of course, you need to have the ones that are targeted towards what you guys are actually trying to solve. Like, what is the majority of your base right now? What kind of founders?
Oh, well, I think a lot of them are healthcare, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is
Okay, healthcare. So I know a perfect contact builds, healthcare products. That's what she does. That's her entire business. Is she takes these ideas from doctors or whatever, and then turns them into real manufactured things. So those are the kinds of people that you need to network with, and they are going to be at the high ticket places. They will not be at Sour Mouse or
Free events, basically.
yeah, pretty much anywhere free.
Sour
You're fine.
Mouse.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I love that place.
So garbage. I hate that place.
It is a garbage.
It's really fucking bad. So, and especially now, that's where they're all anywhere that you have to spend almost a ridiculous amount of money to get into. That's probably your target.
Okay, so wait, can I go back to what I was going to say before? I help founders for free. Next question they ask is, how? What is their answer to that?
Now they're probably going to ask why.
Why? Because I want to help founders to solve problems and make an impact. I want to solve problems.
You
and
want
make
to make an impact in the world.
I want to change the world.
If I was
It's
a
just like
person, I would
answer.
ask both, but I would also be more curious on like depends on what. If I'm very profit
That's
focused
what.
person, then
that's
I would be
what
like
all these
how. And if I'm like more like okay, I'm going to learn more about why you're doing it.
That's why.
If I'm a more
No,
money,
it's usually the other way around because they're going to ask why because that doesn't make sense money wise. When you're talking about how, it's more a curiosity of like, okay,
What are you
cool,
doing
like, yeah, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? Why is going to be okay? I can also help founders, but I make them pay me.
Yeah. Why?
Why are you doing it?
Because I literally don't want to live in a world where I saw the climate clock being put up in New York City and I didn't try my hardest to actually do something to solve problems and help the world. That's the real reason why I'm doing this.
Okay, so fucking
And
say
that's
that
the
and,
real
like, be
reason
very
I'm
sincere
trying
about
this,
it.
Stefan.
Say that and be very sincere about it. Like come up with some bullshit story. Like what I use, what Billy used for our membership clubs is like we just wanted to throw parties for rich kids and like make money off of it, right? But, like we said, like hey, like we were sitting. Fuck, what did I fucking say, dude?
I think I remember. I think
Yeah, you remember it? Yeah, like so I was sitting down at
I think
dinner.
you want to give access to kids.
Yeah.
Mentorships and whatnot.
Whatever the fuck. But like the story that I said was something interesting. I said you know, I was sitting down at dinner with a bunch of friends from college one night, and we were sitting at a table and we were talking, laughing, catching up after a long time away.
I gotta go
and
to Natalie's thing.
I looked over to a table to my right, and I heard the sound of an Amex hitting the table. And I said to myself right then and there, and to my group of friends, how cool would it be if we could build our own membership that provided similar, if not more beneficial perks and benefits to our age group that were more interesting to our peers. And so, like, that then and there, like, that was the story. Like, it was bullshit. Like, I don't remember what
That's your founding story?
Like, that was the founding story. You need something that's catchy, you need something that's interesting, and you need a fucking, like,
The life of
you need the bling.
Yes,
you need
sir.
the bling.
We need
If
to
you don't
talk
have the
about that.
bling,
Okay.
you're fucked.
We're done with the bling. Okay, honestly, we do need a bling for Propel. We need something that we can just put down and say, hey, this is what makes us unique. Why you should come. Brings attention to us.
Propel is a really.
You need like an interesting story. You need like an interesting story of like why you built this.
Yes, I agree.
I have a very unique story. Why you are asking story? Growing up in a conflict zone in Kashmir, there is no internet, no connection, no social life, and coming back to the city area, facing hundreds of problems, and then reaching into the New York and new culture, and building a startup in this fucking
food. That's the best thing about it.
So just make that concise and make it like make it
I
simple.
would love that, man.
Not simple,
Damn,
but
I gotta
like,
go to these things.
concise
I gotta
and make
become
it
a
simple,
service
and I
provider.
promise you people are gonna buy into it.
I really
I grew up in a in a line of control where India and Pakistan every day fighting. Okay?
Wednesday.
And
Damn.
when I was in a school, they had the school and the school got destroyed.
Yeah, I did.
When I was a 2-year-old
Okay, wait.
boy,
Can we finish
my
this
mom
right now as a
was
group?
possible because of accessibility. Healthcare accessibility.
Well, look, okay.
So I grew up to make the change for the world. Why not?
The reality
That's
is,
it. So the story
it's
has
super
to not
late
be
in the
you as an
game. You're
individual.
probably
It has
not
to
going
be
to
like
get into a lot of spots. But
Propel as in
there is one option that I can say if you're going to put go to everything at this point.
Yeah.
But put emphasis on one event that you can just toss money at, and then that you can at least get in. It's going to be the Tavern Yacht Party. They have a VIP ticket that just went out. His name is Ben Schwartz, the guy who
Ben?
founded it.
Schwartz.
Yeah,
What's
Ben
the
Schwartz.
Do you have a Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I'm using.
Okay. My network is
And
not
the
ready.
VIP is like $100.
This phone
I
has
think.
it. This phone doesn't have it.
Spend $100.
Yeah, because the regular ticket already sold out.
Will you guys be there?
I'll be on the regular ticket, but I'll sneak into the VIP because I know Ben. So
I'm not home.
Will you
Sorry.
introduce me to Ben?
I can try. Yeah.
And what could Ben do for me?
Well, the fact that he can get a yacht on super short notice for Tech Week
Means a lot.
means a shit ton. So I mean, he essentially takes advantage of unused spaces here in New York and throws events.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
So he's a big events guy. He gets access to a lot of sponsors for events. So if you're trying to get more marketing, more notoriety, he would be a good dude.
Okay.
And it depends on the kind of skew of your founders. But if you do a lot of international founders,
Yeah, we do.
there's a huge market for that in New York that I'm tapped in with.
I'm immigrant.
Yeah, I am too.
And I'm an international founder.
As am I. And so there's things like Siam from Azen. There is, dude, who am I forgetting? Oh, Matt Gale from Lawfully.
Yes.
There's
Do you have some list shared with us
There's no list. The list is in the tab.
that
no-
you would recommend for like this top properties for you? Definitely, you should have something like maybe.
listen, if I had, first of all, it's all in here, but second of all, if I had that list, I would be charging you guys.
You
for it.
definitely should, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry again. Soccer.
You're all good. But that is, listen, that's the thing. Okay. There's no guarantee you'll see them. There's no guarantee you'll get in contact with them. This week especially, because they're going to be fucking
Busy.
swamped.
Yeah.
Right? Also, do you know, oh, dude, from Gen ZT. What's her face?
I forgot.
Natalie.
Yeah.
Natalie Neptune.
Yeah.
She's cool. She is not so well. She's really keyed into some big sponsors and like some mid-tier investors, but she's got a shit ton of access to founders. So if you need to start building that area down the line, she's definitely going to be the one you want to partner with. Dude, there's so many.
Yeah.
And it depends on how high up on the echelon you want to go, because if you want to talk nationally, there's, what's his name? Keith Ferrazzi and, what's his name?
I don't remember him.
Keith is remember the one LP funder that I set you up with in LA?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
She and I are part of the same social club,
Yeah.
and that's the one that's run by that guy.
So
So,
What do you speak at home?
listen, long story short, if you're looking at
maybe Punjabi.
places,
Definitely.
definitely try to get into definitely try to get into all of these. Ben Schwartz is going to be the easiest one to get in, or the VIP is going to be the easiest one to get into. He's going to be hard to get a hold of.
Unless you have something to say.
What I know of the Kashmiri language is
But then
Maybe
Or just
Indian
go
side
to-
they will
this
go
dude
down
is going to
the
be
road.
super
Yeah.
helpful.
we also call the Kashmiri people.
What's his face? Matt.
Yeah. I know a lot of people call it.
Rob, can you
But
go
I-
downstairs and open the door?
I don't know.
Natalie is good.
Luke.
What the fuck is that?
Cyan, you said? Cyan?
Siam.
Here's the fun fact.
Siam.
I'm a Kashmiri, but I don't know how to speak.
It's alright.
Was that
Oh.
But we
SAIM?
speak
Yeah.
in party Hindi.
Um,
It's similar to
At least I think that's how you spell his name.
No, it's not even spelled his name.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
SAIM?
No, it's a Y. It's a full Y.
That's his. I'll send you the official
Yeah.
spelling and shit
Yeah.
Do you
in a
have
little bit,
any
but
healthcare connection? Just to
That's-
introduce us?
those are going to be your best bets for right now because you guys are too
More
green. Well, too late and too
Yeah.
green.
I
Once,
am.
I
yeah,
was
once you
finding
guys
this one, bro. For a while.
start building a little traction, you can get into some
I thought there is
bigger
no-
rooms. But these are going to be the easiest connectors that
How
you
do I
get.
meet these $10,000 hat major investor, ultra high net worth individuals?
So it's a process. So you start with these guys, you get to know them, you get to like them, you go to their smaller events. Andrew Young especially has what's called the Junto. The Junto.
Junto.
Wait, can you write that? June?
It's stupid though because it's supposed to be Junto because it's together in Spanish. But anyways,
Yeah.
they call it Junto.
yeah, I know. Listen, but
But
that dude is no joke. He runs New York.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I've
So-
never heard of that.
Yeah. He's super cool.
I've been waiting to introduce
I
myself.
met him
He-
once. I met him
sound like
in-
familiar. Do you say Andrew Young?
Yeah, Andrew Young.
Oh
The one
like a
with
familiar,
the-
very familiar name.
No.
No.
So there's the politician,
And
and then
yeah.
there's a different guy.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the different guy.
I
He's
separated
a
from
sense-
Actually, we've met-
politician.
yeah, we've met-
and party.
He's a-
But they know each other, which
Yeah.
is really funny.
Yeah. They met a few weeks back.
Yeah. But also, there are Christine from Row.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god, if you can finally get Row, that'll be great.
I mean, you can get roll. That's the easy part, really.
Dude, what's your
Row is
name?
easy.
Row. Just look up Row.
Yeah.
Slash
Stefan, I'm gonna take your leave. I gotta go.
tech.
I should have come earlier, but then I got late.
Okay.
I would have spent more time.
You coming right at the right time, Luke. Keep going.
So Tech Walk. It's probably easier to find her at Tech Walk. Actually, that's going to be the easiest one. It's going to be Friday, I think. It's either Friday or Wednesday. But it's free. It's going to be hard to get her alone. But if you can at least get her info, only ask for her email. Don't ask for her LinkedIn, because her LinkedIn, I mean, you'll get both, but her LinkedIn is a fucking black hole. Don't even waste your time. Yeah.
Let me.
Last time also we were just meeting when you came in. I was leaving.
And if for some reason you can't get a hold of her, try Ben Bartolone. He's someone that's a lot easier to get in contact with, but I would use him to get to her.
Oh wait, I know one person with a social impact. She has a fund.
Who?
Her fund is in Maryland. She's not in New York, but
yeah,
she'll be a good contact at least.
Wait, also, if you guys need contacts in the West Coast, Seattle, LA, and San Fran.
I need a lot of contact with the healthcare for my Rania. Yeah, we are trying to raise money for this startup.
Okay, West Coast money or
East Coast money?
West Coast or East Coast, because they're very different people.
Anywhere. We are.
Oh, dude,
green. Come on.
Okay, but all money is not green, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Oh, we're green. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So it's very tough.
Yeah. Hey, let's get connected. Sure. You have some really good ideas.
At least they know how to hire well.
Only worked to start with them like this.
Awesome.
For 10 years, only started.
All right, let's see.
I love the people who work this.
That is also the reason why I'm.
I love the people who work on the startup.
Oh my god, it's you?
Yeah. I look so much older in that, I know.
You also look like an investor.
Can I grab
Well,
Well,
listen.
look at that photo. I mean, actually, my photo.
Can I grab
Well,
this?
I started and sold 4 companies.
Give me one
So,
second.
Wow,
My
that's
network is gone off.
really good.
Right?
Yeah, you guys have
Have you had this flavor before? This flavor?
Never had it.
from work.
You got from work?
Yeah.
Mexican.
Well,
Yep.
somebody
Wait,
got
can I
from
actually
here.
have some popcorn?
Late, but it's
Can we leave
Filipino.
soon?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why you're like.
Says yes.
Okay, that's,
Even your first name.
yeah.
Or it says yes.
Well,
Or-
I changed it from Catholic when Trump first came into office. So.
Okay.
Es pendejo.
Let's.
It's good, right? It's actually really good.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you gotta try it because I was hungry like a little bit.
When he told me what flavor it was, I kind of looked at it really.
Okay.
Wow, like, this is not what I expected.
Let's get the rest of the people.
Okay.
Then we can make healthcare specific.
All right.
We want to make sure all the healthcare companies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I also need to eat today.
Hey, can you take a picture of me?
Cool.
Oh,
You do look like an investor.
No, no worries. You're good.
I know a few. I know too many.
You want
They
to
hate
see a
me, though.
picture?
Oh, yeah.
Well, with the exception of like a couple really cool ones, investors hate me because I always steal their.
Clients.
Yeah, I steal their clients. I convince them not to take money from them, and they do better.
They're like, hi, Charles, hi, Charles.
Yeah,
And then I have a group chat.
I love this so much.
like that, yeah, they'll walk in as I walk out of the conference room, and they're like, "Fuck, we're not gonna get this."
Okay. Now we need some information.
Well, you got
specifically for- yeah,
5 minutes.
specifically for the healthcare. startup.
Okay, healthcare startups.
B2B healthcare AI agentic startup.
taking over good analysis.
Okay. Who is your primary?
Clinics. Any clinic.
You only need. Okay. So.
You're a lead investor first.
I mean, yeah, but like, even people who are investing in healthcare right now.
Or tied up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be. West Coast might work out better.
Great. Good value.
Oh.
Yeah, they have
I will have to write to him tomorrow.
Write the name.
20, 30 million.
Depends. Okay, so what's the product?
So basically, it's an AI agentic startup to automate the whole administration of that small and medium sized.
Okay, so it's not an actual. Okay, that's gonna make it more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, because tech money right now is fucking gone.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
tight.
Well, yeah, I mean, but for anyone under Series A, it's gone.
Yeah.
don't care about who
Like, if you're Ivy League, then there might be money left. But like,
Even then, right now, a lot of the foundations are tightening the purse strings.
those
Honestly, I don't have anyone that would be matching that profile, but I do think.
Just picture around. Like that's.
Hold on.
That's probably the best case.
Yes. Literally.
I need that pop face.
Oh my god.
I've never like ate popcorn like this and just wanted
Yeah,
to.
same here. I haven't been popcorn in a long time.
The startup boys all together again. Suits, yes, suits. We got some suits out here, right? You gotta say hi. Okay, pass the phone around. Pass the phone around.
Are you guys all coming?
Hello.
Oh, you guys all coming? We could go if you want. Let's finish this though. Okay?
Who's that?
So we know.
I'm going the fuck home. I didn't even. I thought this was going to be my social shit.
Yeah.
Wait. Before we leave, is there anything else?
Hey, what's up? I don't know who you are.
Listen, there's a million and one things, but listen. This is my donation to you guys. By the way.
You did, by the way.
We can find you at
We're at
non-profit
Impact Hub.
What do you want to see?
I expect minimum
honestly, like,
a quarterly speaking engagement.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll kind of come back to stuff.
Can I shake your hand?
Let's do it. All right. So let me see.
Jack. Go. Bro, I was in the meeting. Like, I can really talk.
Focus.
my product is ready.
Luke popcorn.
We have a
Popcorn's
6 customer
Yeah,
in
it
Pakistan.
is.
I like the flavor. What is it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, so it's automating everything from
Yeah,
the internal systems.
What's up?
From intaking patient and follow up, reminder,
And the problem is that you are now competing with.
Zogdog.
Yeah.
We are competing with all big tech. Hey, hello. Okay, can you guys?
Wait, you're from Pakistan?
Yeah.
Do you know Karam? Yeah. Karam Kalibi, yeah. Okay. Have you gone to him?
Yeah, I just we connect sometime with idea.
So what?
We are still in the talk and the LinkedIn, so maybe I can meet with him.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, like he would probably be your best entrance to all of that shit.
I'm trying to reach out. So I need two things actually.
Yeah.
One is integration. Right now, what we are facing the biggest issue is to integrate our
Yes.
EHR system. That is like Epic, Institute, and the Austrian. So we are going to.
Well, listen, let's walk and talk because I gotta get the fuck out of
More
here.
popcorn. More popcorn.
Yeah. So we're gonna party.
Yeah, I'll work with you guys for this.
You want to Ryan's? Just come to Ryan's and say hi for this. Ryan Thorne. Oh. Yeah.
Kevin, I'm going to leave. Okay.
Yes.
Where is the other?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
One more handshake. I'm glad to make it. Like I felt like I missed you the lecture house. I just stayed home because I was really just like.
Well, the one time I was with this guy.
So yes. Okay, wait. So, is it okay if I bring like a brigade of people to say hi?